DJ Don't Bootleg found us. That was from the video they were watching before. It died! That's what Miss Monty said.
You guys should be up and running now.
All right.
Okay.
It died! All right. Are we still? There we are.
There we are.
Hi, Miss Monty. So we're back again with two of my favorite people in the whole world. Sally Zombie Cheerleader also saying, "It died." Yes, hello. So we're back. Anyhow, we just presented Rob, one of the most highly decorated monster kids around. Presented him with a few more patches. I guess you want to talk about your scarf?
Oh. Well, I wanted to fit in, and I don't do ties, so.
What are you ever worried about fitting in?
I want like I was part of the team.
Okay, part of the team.
Yeah.
Team Lobo.
Yeah,
well,
Team
I
Lobo.
appreciate it. I'll have you on my team anytime, Rob.
Awesome.
So Rob, you got your own show, right? You're hosting your own
Yeah, it just
show?
started.
Yeah.
Something I've been wanting to do for 100 years.
Phantasmo's Trailer Vault?
Yes, yeah. Where we, it's just me being the dancing monkey sitting there and introducing.
Dance monkey.
Yeah. And introducing about 15 or so trailers.
Right.
And
Are you editing the show?
No, I'm creative
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh,
but
you
mostly.
Yeah, now Phyllis said it's our podcast,
Yeah, I do.
Fantasmo After Dark, our
Yeah.
cult movie
Well,
podcast.
that I do know, because I've been on that.
That's right.
Yes, you
And
have.
we'll get to that in a second.
Phyllis does a great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because we had too much fun on that.
Okay, so all right, so talk about the trailer show.
Because you know how we get. We'll go this way
video
and that way.
trailers,
Yeah.
yes, video trailers.
The
Movie
Phantasmo Trailer Vault. We showed, like I said, the video show trailers, and it runs a gamut from classic horror to action to musicals, but mostly horror and genre stuff.
Right.
Greg Steele is pretty much the director and editor of that. Does a fantastic job. It actually looks really professional.
I see what a
Amazing.
Trailer Vault is so much fun to watch. Can't wait to watch the Twisted Pair. So is this Fire Bad know about Trailer Vault?
I guess so.
Oh, awesome!
So is this on YouTube?
It's on YouTube. Yeah, our camera guy and
When is it going to be on
producer.
OSI 74?
As soon as you want it.
Greg, are you
you're out
watching? Send it now. Send it.
We'll need it. You guys will have to cut a special OSI version.
Definitely.
We want it.
We'll work on
Yeah.
it then.
And I Matt Harrison and Matt Birchfield, our
think I
camera
got that
guys and producers. I got to remember.
I always say Matt and Matt. Getting a last name.
The two
is
Matt
hard for
Squared
me.
is our guys, and they do a fantastic
Yeah.
job of making me not look like an idiot
Wow,
up
that
there.
is hard work.
Yes, it is. Especially the later it gets.
I'm very, very excited. Well, if you need any suggestions for trailers,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing. Greg took on his own. He got in touch with you and a handful of my
I
other
did,
friends and had them send in trailers for me to do a reaction video to.
Yeah, he just posted that.
That
by
just
the
went
way,
up the other day too, so that was a lot of fun.
Oh,
trying to
good.
guess who sent what
Good.
trailer
Oh,
too. Yeah.
Did you guess who sent who the one
I actually,
sent?
no.
I don't think you had guessed.
I guessed one right
Oh.
Oh
Didn't
yeah,
I?
yeah, the one from Greg.
from Greg. Yeah.
All right, so I'm
Yeah.
curious to know if you could know the trailers that I sent.
Well,
Yeah.
after it airs, then he does show it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So we do
After,
know,
yeah, it says was submitted by,
Okay.
Yeah.
but I don't know while I'm watching it at
Right.
first. So,
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
but that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're talking about our
Yes,
podcast.
the podcast. Now, they have a great podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Phantasmo After Dark, right?
Yes.
That's technically the name of it. The
yeah,
That's it, yeah.
in the Phantasmo Lounge.
Phantasmo Lounge with the clinking glasses.
Yes. Got to have a cocktail.
Yes, we have our
Yeah.
cocktails for the Phantasmo Lounge. And of course, we talked about me being on the podcast
For a long
For a
time.
long time. And that's how podcasts go.
Yeah.
It's hard to get sync up.
Yeah, but whenever we get together,
Yeah.
we're just goofing around and talking and having so much.
It is a podcast.
Yeah.
It's a 7-hour podcast. Where
And we don't hook up any microphones or anything. But this one time, we did finally.
we were struck by inspiration.
Yes, that's the truth.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am a pretty affected movie nerd. I like movies a lot. I don't know if you know this about me.
You don't say.
No.
I like weird movies a lot. And somehow, somewhere, we both were looking at movie trailers.
Yeah, we were just like this. We were just hanging out. We put on YouTube just 2 hours of movie trailers. to pass the time.
And the trailer came on for something called The Three Fantastic Supermen. And I had never seen it before.
And I had never seen it. We looked at
Or
each other.
heard of it.
Yeah, right?
And I'm like, how did this escape us? So there were three guys in classic red and black superhero outfits.
Just the standard superhero suit.
Like if all the blue parts of Superman were red and all the red parts of Superman were black.
Yeah.
Other than that, basic superhero
Yeah.
outfits. But they're like doing crimes.
Yeah, they're like Italian
Robbing banks.
super criminals,
Yeah.
you know?
And we're like, we've got to see this movie.
Yeah, the trailer just,
Blew us away.
yeah, it had so much in the trailer.
It was like a little bit screwball comedy, a little bit I would say a little bit Adam West,
A little bit, yeah.
Batman and Robin,
A little,
James Bond,
yeah, a little bit diabolic.
a little bit diabolique,
Yeah. A little bit everything else.
a little bit everything else,
Yeah.
a little bit Super Argo,
Yes,
maybe a
yeah.
lot of Super Argo,
Yeah.
maybe a lot of what's the other one that's not Argo Man?
Yeah.
So that's what I think that was the thing, is that I think whenever I saw this, it just registered, oh, that's Argo Man. That's Super Argo.
Another one of
Oh,
those,
that's Super Argo versus the Faceless Giants, or that other Super Argo.
Yeah.
It never hit me right in the face.
Yeah.
But anyhow, the whole movie was on YouTube.
Yeah. So we saw this, it was like after midnight.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, tomorrow.
A couple of kids couldn't go to sleep.
Yeah. So tomorrow we're going to watch this.
Yeah, Dixie and I were playing a game in the other room, and we just heard you cackling and laughing and having such fun. We didn't have any clue what you were watching.
So we got up the next day, had some lunch, and we watched it. And as we're watching it, we keep looking at each other going, this is the greatest movie we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And after it was over, how have neither one of us ever heard of this or seen it? Or how have any of our friends never told us about this movie?
So we had so much to say about it that we recorded the podcast.
Yeah.
Finally recorded the podcast.
And I can't remember if it was after the trailer or after you watched the movie that you texted me about it right away, being like, have you heard of this?
Yeah.
I think it was that night after you watched the trailer.
Yeah. And we had so much fun watching the movie and so much fun on the podcast.
Yeah.
I actually listened to it again the other day while I was taking a walk. And I was giggling like an idiot listening to us.
It should be required in schools to listen to this podcast on the Three Fantastic Supermen.
Yes. Yeah.
Find it after tonight. Find it, Fantasmo After Dark podcast. It's on Spotify.
Yeah, it's on Podbean and
iTunes and
yeah,
Spotify,
a few different
Wherever
ones.
you get your podcasts, listen to Rob and I talk about the Three Fantastic Supermen. It could be the most important recording that you will ever listen to.
It may change your life.
Yeah. Oh, it will change your life. It will change your life. But so Rob, was this my birthday? Or was it Christmas?
It was for birthday. It was your birthday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
Mr.
because it was
Lobo
for
had a
the
birthday, and I'm a terrible person. I forget birthdays. I'm not really that good of a friend most of the time. But somehow, some way, somewhere, Rob goes to a weird website, probably illegal, and has these Mego-style action figures made.
No, I made them.
Yeah.
Well,
I got all the parts.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
oh yes.
You order the heads and the bodies.
The bodies and the gloves and the boots and the
gloves, the
suits
boots,
and the
and the
capes all separately. Yeah.
And he made me a set of Three Fantastic Supermen. Now I carried around a lot. It is in here because I do carry that box around.
Oh my
a lot.
goodness.
Let me see if it's in here.
Oh man.
It was here at one point,
Should
at
have
least.
planned this better.
I
better.
took a lot of pictures the night you were opening that, and I never posted them to Facebook or publicly. Maybe I should dig some up.
Oh yeah. It
He
was.
looks so giddy.
I had so much fun making these figures, and the whole time I'm putting them together, I'm just so pleased with myself, tickled that, and seeing them come together, and I'm like, he's going to lose his damn mind when he sees these, because I know I would if I just saw them out of the blue.
I'm surprised they actually made it into a box for
Well,
Mr. Lobo.
they almost stayed.
He loved them.
They almost stayed at my house. They really did. You know.
Yeah, they were pretty
Happy
awesome.
birthday. You can come visit these.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
Yeah.
It's funny because he had one of them completely made. Bubble gun. He had one of them completely made, and then was still working on the other ones. And you had it up on the
I had it up on
mantle
over
or
the DVDs.
over the DVDs.
Yeah, the 1,000 DVD shelf. Yeah.
But Lobo and Dixie were coming to visit. I can't remember, was
Yeah.
that for MonsterFest maybe? It might have been for MonsterFest. And I was like, wait, you've got to go put them away before he gets here.
I need to just put them in my trophy case is what I need to do.
Yeah.
Because they are gems.
I almost left it out for him to see, and I was going to say that I made it for myself just to see his reaction, but Phyllis wouldn't let me. She said, no, total surprise. Total
It was
surprise.
so much better to watch him open those and be surprised. It was hilarious. He's still digging.
He's still digging, so we need more bubbles while we're
need more
waiting.
bubbles?
Yeah. So, Phyllis, why don't you tell, speaking of Knobles, and Mr. Why don't you tell the story of
are we telling the story of
the duck
pink,
story?
Pink unicorn duck?
Yes. At Knobles, they have the claw machine,
Yes.
and all it has are these little ducks, hundreds of different kinds of little
And
ducks.
every claw wins is what it says.
You
something
put in
like that.
$1 and it won't stop until it drops one in the chute. So
Right.
you always get one.
Yep.
So it was like 7 years ago we went and got a handful, and so we made our mission. We're getting more ducks.
Yes. So we started a duck collection somehow. I don't even know how it happened,
Yeah.
other than those.
So
In our bathroom,
Yeah.
it's a little shelf above the sink, and all of them are ducks.
and we got Lobo and Dixie addicted to it also.
Well,
And
we made them get us ducks,
yeah.
so that's why they're addicted.
We get sparkly ducks. We get owl ducks. We
All
get
kinds of ones.
pixelated, all these different kinds of ducks. But Phyllis wanted a unicorn, one this pink
Yes.
unicorn.
I saw the pink unicorn duck, and Dixie was like, "We have to get that for you."
None of us could
tried,
get it.
and none of us could get it.
None of us could get it.
But Mr. Lobo was very adamant that we
So-
were going to get this pink unicorn duck.
So I'll tell the story, unless he's coming back right now.
No, I'm not coming back.
Okay.
He's still
so
looking.
he walks around the front of the machine and sees one of the attendants with keys walking around, and he comes around the other side of the machine to us and says, "Give me a couple of ducks, quick!
And I'm like, "What
He
ducks
says-
do you want?"
I've got something going on. Give me a few ducks." So Phyllis hands him
No, he
three.
said, "I'm working.
I'm working a deal. I'm working a deal. Trust me." Phyllis gives him 3 or 4 ducks. You okay? Yeah. Okay. And then he goes around the corner, and he comes back with
with the pink unicorn
And I'm
duck.
like, "What did you do?" He said, "I just asked the guy, hey, can I trade you? We've
been
spent all
trying to
this
get
money
this
on
duck."
these ducks. Can I trade you 3 ducks for the pink unicorn duck?" So the guy just opened up the case and said, "Just give me one." Took one, gave him that one, and he comes back. Here you
Pink
go.
unicorn duck.
I know a guy, basically.
Sorry. I moved them. That's what I did.
Oh no!
I'm always messing with them, so I'm always.
Well, they're
never in the
toys. You're
same
supposed to
place.
always play
Yeah.
with
But
them.
see, I play with my toys.
You should.
Well, you're supposed to play
So-
with your toys.
All right.
That's
well,
all right.
I'm
We know
embarrassed
they're
that
here.
I can't put my hands on it right now, but that we're going to make an episode. We'll make a Cinema Insomnia episode. We'll have Rob come back. We'll make a Cinema Insomnia episode. Maybe we'll try to make outfits for ourselves.
Oh,
Try to make superhero outfits.
that'd be
for ourselves.
cool.
That would be amazing.
Mr. Lobo's lost. So you told the duck story while I was gone?
Yes.
It's like
I love my duck.
The thing is that like I mean, what did we have? Like 19 ducks?
Yes.
Yeah, we had 19 of these.
So we have
little
19 of these little ducks. So so at that point, which when the guy, it's like I'm trying, and the claw is just slipping, and it's not coming, and that duck is just in the corner. It's never going to
It
come
won't
out.
move.
And I'm like, my plan was to just dig a hole of duck,
So they'd
and then
fall.
eventually he'd fall into the middle. But no, it didn't happen. So the guy walks by, and I see those keys. Remember in E.T. where the guys are just sitting keys? That guy didn't even have a face. He was just a set of keys that just walked by. And I just followed him over, and he's talking with his buddy, and I'm like,
Come here.
he's like, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I've been trying to get this done for my friend all day. And, if I could just trade you, could you just give me the unicorn duck? It's wedged back there. I just can't get it. So
He said, "Sure."
the thing is that if you don't ask, all he could say was no.
Yeah,
That's right.
So if you don't ask, the answer's always no.
it's true.
So he just walked over there and opened up the machine and handed over the duck. So
But
of course he got fired now. 'Cause on the Twitch stream. But it made me happy that we were able to make
Yeah, that was
that
great, and it
love
just
my duck.
added to the day, which
Added
was
to the
which
day.
was fantastic already.
another adventure.
Yes,
Another adventure.
and we got a story out of it.
And a story.
Yeah.
And a story. always great. So we talked about the Naro. We talked about MonsterFest. We talked about Fantasmo. We talked about Dimes. Did we talk enough trash about
We have not
He's a
talked enough
slacker.
trash about Dimes. He was supposed to be here. He led us to believe that Dr. Sarcophagi was going to join us tonight, and then he punked out.
Very sad.
He punked out with his excuse of having to adult tomorrow.
Oh boy, you know that's a shame. We have a lot of friends who succumb to this adulting
I don't like it.
detox,
Yeah.
I don't approve.
adulting disease. I feel bad because John is actually one of the funniest people I've ever
He is
met.
so funny.
And him and Rick together are hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I almost feel like they need to have a talk show with just the two
Yeah.
of them.
I've told them that. They should do their own podcast.
And when we're all together, we have so much fun.
It's nuts. Well, we wouldn't get anything done tonight if he was here. We'd just be making each other laugh the whole
Yeah,
time and nerding out on, stuff.
Anything.
But those of
Yeah.
you who don't know John Dimes, tonight we're going to be showing our haunted house special. And this was in a really weird place for John because I think, being a horror host is the best, worst job in the world. And a lot of times I think every host, and I'm telling tales out of school, but every host thinks about quitting. But every host that's ever quit regrets it.
Yeah.
I remember talking to John Stanley and him going, I could have done a show 4 times a year. I could have just done a Halloween show.
Yeah.
He's 80 years old now and he's still having regrets about stopping too soon.
Well, Mad Blood has stopped a few times, but then after that wears off, before a year goes by, he said this. He says he starts remembering how much fun he had with those people that he works with, and he gets back together with them.
Yeah.
Now he
They
does.
do a Halloween special, right?
Now they do a Halloween special once a year. Yeah.
Yeah. I think when you become a horror host, you don't fully recover from it.
Yeah.
It is always part of you. If you're a host, it's always part of you. And John, when I had finally met John, I've been wanting to meet John for a long time.
Yeah.
He's a writer, he's an artist, he's a cartoonist.
Oh yeah, multi-talented guy.
He and I share a lot of our humor's the same, a lot of our ideas are on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And so it was I always wanted to meet John. And so when I finally met him, he was in this really weird place like, yes, me and Dr. Sarcophagi are not on a first name basis right now.
Oh,
I'm not speaking to Dr. Sarcophagi. So he didn't want to do his character. And it was very hard for me to convince him, hey, I want you to be on my horror host show. And what I think enticed him is that I said, I don't want you to be Dr. Sarcophagi. I created a character for you.
Yeah.
And so I created a character named Professor X Exorcist. And he's a priest who'd fallen from grace. And he is part of this team of paranoid investigators, not paranormal investigators. Paranoid investigators.
That's appropriate.
And so I wrote this. He has a Hawaiian shirt and a priest collar, and and he's in a wheelchair. And that was the character, and John loved the character and loved my writing. I kept thinking he was going to rewrite every line.
Oh wow.
But he did everything as I wrote it, which was amazing.
Well, he's a pro.
For me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a compliment because his writing is he's really funny, and he knows what funny is and what's not funny, and for him to do it. And what's interesting is everyone who sees that haunted house special goes, John totally steals the show from you. And I'm like, I know.
You wrote it that way.
I gave him those words.
Yeah.
I want to see him shine. I want to see everybody shine. Dick Dizelle is in that.
Yeah.
As the sheriff, he's great in it,
Yeah, that one line of John's in there is one of the funniest things in the entire series.
I think that it's, I think that horror hosts are an interesting combination of talents.
Yeah.
And so I really did want to create something that was a showcase for them, because our job is showcasing everything else.
Yeah.
Here's the movie. Here's our wonderful guests. and I wanted to put the spotlight on them and let them perform. you
Yeah.
know? And everyone did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
It came together almost like a movie. Like when that was all done, I
Uh-huh.
was like, wow, maybe we could make a movie. Because
Yeah.
there was no movie. We were the main course
Yeah.
for once.
Yeah.
The horror hosts were the main course and not the French fries on the side.
Yeah.
So it was, John Dimes is wonderful in this. He's really funny. He does steal the show.
Yeah.
And I wish he were here.
He would have been
Me
fun
too.
here. Yes.
He would have.
He would have been.
He would have been stealing the show here.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen American Scary, he's very funny.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Look up the trailer for American Scary online. John caps the whole trailer
Yeah.
at the end there.
And then his Fright Gallery show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and-
That's right.
Or you better
yeah.
watch it.
OSI 74, which we have a lot of new things on OSI 74. We've got a new Captain Isotope, a new It's Cartoon Time, a couple of new Space Angels. We've got some new Sally the Zombie Cheerleader coming. And we have Dr. Sarcophagi himself. He's back in business as Dr. Sarcophagi.
Yes. Yes, he is.
And he's doing a show called Fright Gallery. And what's wonderful is he's married a lot of his skills into that. We get to see his drawing, we get to see his animation skills, we get to see his chameleon-like voices that he does.
Oh, he does a lot of voices on it.
He does like a Paul Lynn and all sorts of really
I love his
hilarious
Paul.
Me too.
Who was doing Truman Capote was that John?
That was John. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Yeah. Or is it this morning? It was this morning.
This morning.
Truman
Yeah.
Capote.
I could definitely imagine him doing a Truman
it's
Capote voice.
fantastic.
We need to do another
Funny.
special like the haunted house special and get Sally in on it too.
Yeah.
And get John. Maybe we'll have Rob in there too.
Oh, that'd be cool. It'd be awesome.
So
And have John do Truman Capote.
Truman Capote.
John as Truman Capote.
Yes.
Just
It's
have
worth
him
the
play.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
John Dimes.
John as Truman Capote.
Hilarious.
But yeah, if you haven't seen Dr. Sarcophagi, check him out on his on our channel, OSI 74, Fright Gallery. So we talked about that. We talked about let me take care of a little bit of business here. We're making our Ghastly Love of Johnny X episode right now, which we shot at the Shankweiler Drive-In. It is a 2012 movie. It's basically Teenagers from Outer Space as a comedy musical in black and white.
I can't wait to see it.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
Last movie shot on black and white Kodak Plus X film stock.
Wow.
Actually, I think it is the very last movie shot on that black and white film stock. It's a really great movie that I love. Paul Bonnell, the director, is a character in the episode. It's another one. It's almost like a movie.
Yeah.
And his fiance is hilarious and plays multiple characters in it. And I marry them as part of the episode. They get married.
They allow that in the state?
Yeah, they do.
3 people get married?
Yeah. Oh, not a throuple. I solemnized this.
Oh, you didn't marry them. You married them.
Yes, I
Oh,
did.
okay.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
sorry. That's people make that mistake a lot. But if you support that episode on in our shop, which is at cinemonsonic.com/Johnny
X.
well, not only will you get the Blu-ray and associate producer credit
And the movie Blu-ray.
and the movie Blu-ray,
which hasn't been released before.
yeah, it's never been on Blu-ray before, so you're going to get the Cinema Insomnia version and the straight up version.
Yeah,
And already
with
it's
bunch
a
of
bargain.
extras and stuff.
Already it's a bargain.
But then, wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
You will get the Ghastly Scope gogs, from the episode, and for a limited supply of them are signed by Paul Bonnell. So if you jump on this early, you got a pretty damn good chance of getting autographed. You'll get a pair of them. The question is, will you get one signed by Paul Bonnell? But this is only for the pre-order, but the Ghastly Scope.
Order now, order often.
Wasn't Paul offering people like a film print of the movie
yeah.
by the time it was done?
Yeah, he's giving them beads and blankets. And,
his
He
car,
just wanted everybody to have
My
everything.
car.
your car.
We should throw in a free ticket to MonsterFest.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody that orders now
Yes.
will get a free ticket.
Tickets a month. Oh, right.
Two free tickets. Two free tickets to
Four
attend
free tickets.
to attend MonsterFest. Family pack
Yes.
of tickets to attend
That took
attend
me a second to
MonsterFest.
realize.
Yeah, took me a second too.
Yeah.
We're all brain dead from
We're very
playing
tired.
too hard. So that's happening there. If you want to jump on and as an associate producer, we also are doing our kids episode. I've been sharing these pictures of some of these kids that are coming.
Oh,
Well, and I put a
It's
couple
not
little
kids.
clips of the kids stuff in our weekly announcement.
yeah,
Yeah.
adorable.
So we have these 7, 8, 9-year-old kids who are getting into the, gosh darn it, why? They're getting into cinema and song, but I think about it, that's when I was getting into it.
First time I watched Dr. Mablet, I was 7 years old.
First
yeah.
time I saw Bob, I think I was 5 or 6, and when I was really getting into it was
Yeah.
around that time. Actually, when I was 5 and 6, I was too scary. 7 was like perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like wetting myself and covering my eyes.
How old were you when you saw the one with the severed hand?
Oh yeah, I think I was 6.
6. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hey is MonsterFest?
What?
It says, hey,
Somebody
what's MonsterFest?
somebody asked what is
What is
MonsterFest?
MonsterFest? Let me tell you, it's a horror movie show. Excuse me, no, it's a horror movie convention or monster movie convention.
Yeah,
Actually,
classic
everything.
monster
Classic
event.
horror event. Because there's more than just there's records and toys.
Oh yeah,
All kinds of
all
stuff.
kinds of horror related
and-
merchandise
and handmade items, all
Yeah.
sorts of things. But so they have vendors and there's panels, and it's at the Chesapeake Central Library.
Don't let that throw you though.
At what?
That it's at a library.
Yeah.
It actually makes it great because it has that classic convention.
Yeah, it's a great space to have an
It is a
event.
nice space, and it's not like, because I feel like a lot of conventions, it's like the same sterile, it's just the same convention hall atmosphere.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And this has a little homier atmosphere.
And it's 5 minutes from our house.
And so a party at Rob's house after
Absolutely.
the show. We do it every year. It's October 7th, Chesapeake Central Library.
Yep.
Free admission.
That's Chesapeake, Virginia.
Chesapeake,
Oh,
Virginia. Yeah.
Virginia.
Yeah.
We need to say that.
One day
how many
event.
Chesapeakes are there? A lot?
I don't know.
Well, John lives
Well,
in
I mean, the
Chesapeake
Chesapeake
Beach.
Bay, so yeah.
So Chesapeake.
Yeah.
There's a-
But yeah, it's like a real convention. We have we have a bunch of horror hosts,
Yes.
panels, costume
there's
contest.
Costume contest.
Sometimes there's movies, sometimes there's live music. There will be live music. Mr. Fang and the Dark Tones will be playing out front.
Yep, they're really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
Now they
The
have
food trucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, so it's a blast.
Oh,
There was
thanks,
a-
Sally. Best
What is
con on
it?
the planet.
Oh, thank you, Sally.
Yeah, it's great. It's
And Sally will be there.
Sally will be there, and Mr. Lobo will be there. If you
Yes.
want to come see Mr. Lobo,
Yeah.
it's a great place to
And
see us.
if Dr. Sarkophagi shows up like he did
Oh
tonight,
boy,
He has no choice.
Dimes will
He
be there. Sarcophagi will be there.
he
Yes.
will be there. He will be there. So we'll be watching of course, we'll be seeing John tonight here in this thing. Oh, but other events, other episodes that we're making. We've got these kids coming up into the show, so we're doing an episode just for the kids. We're doing another Super Turtle movie. If you've seen our Super Turtle Destroys the Universe, which you can have on Blu-ray, you've seen that episode. This is kind of a sequel to it. It's another Gamera movie, but this one is entitled Giant Monster Air Sea Battle Super Turtle Meets Shovel Face.
Say that 5 times real fast.
No, I will not. No.
What's
Giant
funny
Monster
is-
Air Sea Battle Super Turtle Meets Shovel Face. Giant Monster Air Sea Battle Super Giant Monster Air Sea Battle Super Turtle Meets Shovel
Are you
Face.
counting?
Giant Monster Air Sea Battle Super Turtle Meets Shovel Face. Giant Monster Air Sea Battle Super Turtle Meets Shovel Face. Giant Monster Air Sea Battle Super Turtle Meets Shovel Face. Giant Monster Air Sea Battle Super Turtle Meets Shovel Face. Giant Monster Air Sea Battle Super Turtle Meets Shovel Face. Giant Monster Air Sea Battle Super Turtle Meets Shovel Face. Giant Monster Air Sea Battle Super Turtle Meets Shovel Face. Giant Monster Air Sea Battle Super Turtle Meets Shovel Face.
10.
Funny
Bravo.
is that
Yeah.
it's not far off from the Japanese title of the
that's
actual
what's really
movie.
funny is it isn't that far off from the real Japanese title of it. But it's been, all those movies are given so many AKAs.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, well, what was their authority to call it? Like with the first one, when we call it Super Turtle Destroys the Universe, the actual American AKA, the American International one, is like Destroy All Planets.
Yeah.
Which is the dumb title also. It's like, well, I can do that too.
Yeah.
I can call this thing something dumb that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and this one we like looked through the AKAs and then we're just like, okay, how do we combine this to make it stupider?
So we kind of actually looked at a lot of the different names for this. This is basically Gamera versus Gauss.
Yeah.
Or Gaios. And we basically...
Giant monster midair battle, I think.
Giant monster midair battle was one of the ones. And I thought air sea battle was funnier because of the Atari.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, of course, we were just looking at the footage of the episode, and I just kept calling that one guy Shovel Face.
And we even called that guy Shovel Face back in Super Turtle Destroys the Universe.
Oh, did we?
Because there's footage of Gamera versus Gauss in Destroy All Planets.
Oh, okay.
And so we didn't call it in the episode, but
No.
you and I called it watching the footage.
Well, we were watching the footage. So
Yeah, when we watched the
we were
movie.
coming to name it, and then we've got to come up with something for Shovel Face, and Aaron's like, no, you got it. Like, all right, okay, well, I guess he's Shovel Face. Just call him Shovel. He's like a Dick Tracy villain now.
If Gamera is going to be Super Turtle,
Yeah.
Gauss can be Shovel Face.
So that's just how that happened. And I thought that if it would be great to have a really fun name.
Yeah.
Every kid who knows that name is going to be in the club. And I thought that would be, the more fun, the better.
Yeah.
Right? And so if you want to support that episode for the kids, you can become an associate producer of that episode. That is also in our pre-orders page, cinemainsomnia.com/pre-orders. You can be an associate producer. And it's for the children.
Do it for the children.
And whatever we make with that, we're going to put that money into making that episode for the kids. And we still have 2 other episodes that are in the works that we started production on. We have the Bela Lugosi Meets a Brooklyn Gorilla, which is a very ambitious episode, which is going to take a long time, which is why we've got other episodes in the hopper as well. That takes place over 3 different timelines.
Wow.
So that you'll get to see the 60s Mr. Lobo, the 70s Mr. Lobo, and the present day Mr. Lobo all in this one thing. It's also a telethon episode. So I want to have a lot of different characters and talents and talent show kind of things happening in it. It's just going to take a long time to make that episode. But if you're excited about the Bela Lugosi Meets the Brooklyn Gorilla episode, you can support back that episode. And again, whatever we got, whatever's in the coffer, that's going to be our budget for that episode. And the last one but not least, is or is there?
Is that Ghastly Love of Johnny X? I think you're just coming back full circle.
I'm coming back full circle. Yeah. So it's Ghastly Love of Johnny X, Super Turtle Meets Shovel Face, and
Bela Lugosi.
Bela Lugosi Meets Brooklyn Gorilla. So those are the ones that are in the hopper right now.
I want to see Bela Lugosi meet Shovelface.
Bela Lugosi meets Shovelface.
I want to see that.
Okay. Well, if we survive these, we'll do that. Put that on the list.
Maybe we could do some fake trailer in there.
Yeah.
Like our
Be amazing.
like our canonically accurate Dracula trailer.
Yes, the canonically accurate Dracula as an 80-foot mollusk. Yeah. That was a joke that we had done in the what was that? It was Return of the Vampire.
Yeah.
In Return of the Vampire, in my intro, I was actually just making a joke about how Mr. Lobo is not really well versed in the classic monsters. Because those aren't the movies he gets to show.
Yeah.
He gets to show all the knockoff stuff. So he starts talking about Dracula and Dracula as a phenomenon, and he was basically saying phenomenon. And he basically says that nobody really reads the book because the canonical version of Dracula is an 80-foot mollusk. In the book, Dracula is an 80-foot mollusk. And so I said
Most
that
people
like
don't
just
know that.
as a joke because it's not true. A lot of people don't know that.
Because it's not true.
Because it's not true. So Mr. Lobo just says this thing about what happens in the book, and obviously he's revealing that he also has not read the book. If he had read the book, he would know that Dracula is not an 80-foot mollusk in the book. So that was the joke initially, and Aaron's like, we got to make a trailer for this.
I can do that.
So after so in the episode, which is not in the script anywhere, Aaron and I spontaneously make a trailer for the Dracula movie based on Bram Stoker's Dracula, and Bram Stoker's misspelled, Dracula's misspelled, and it's sort of like an illiterate version of Dracula as an 80-foot mollusk. But Aaron took some footage of some giant monster that sort of fits the bill.
It's from one of the, I think, Ultraman TV shows.
Cut it in with the black and white footage. You know, we see the book opening at the beginning.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
That is
we did
amazing.
a trailer for that.
Yeah.
And then, you did like narration with like the text flying up.
Trillingly realistic, canonically accurate. What is that? A halo of green fire, right? 80-foot mollusk breathing a halo of green fire. Anyway, so
I'm trying to remember what the trailer was we patterned that off of.
well, the Godzilla trailer is really funny because it's almost like a monster truck commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the original Godzilla trailer, there's the guy who talks like this, and then there's the guy who talks like this.
Yeah.
It's like dueling narrators, dueling announcers on that, like a monster truck show.
Yeah.
Right.
And I like the guy the really high pitched voice. You know, it's like, a psychotic cavalcade of electrifying horror. You know.
And then Sunday.
Such a blah blah blah. Yeah, you've got the two guys, right? So yeah, I think there was some the really excitable voice from the original Godzilla trailer. I think was the inspiration.
And
fun.
I think like the text flying up, I think I patterned after that same trailer.
Yeah, and also too, in Gorgo, I thought it was funny because I keep thinking they say truingly realistic, but that's not what they're saying. I think it's like thrillingly realistic or something like that. But
It might be that Gorgo trailer then, because I think we got that.
truingly, or like a word that isn't even a real word.
Strengthenist?
Yeah,
Strengthenist?
Yeah, right.
Strengthenist? Whatever that was.
Whatever that was on that weird bath mat in the bathroom there in the hotel. Strengtheneth. It
Strengtheneth.
me.
Strengtheneth me.
Strengtheneth me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Look
there
that
was
up.
some religious,
Fun.
a lot of the place we were staying had religious
It was a
epigrams
an Airbnb.
everywhere.
Airbnb.
Yeah, it was an Airbnb, and they had it's fine if you've got
Sure.
God bless your home or Jesus loves you. in
Nothing
your
wrong with
kitchen.
that. That's fine.
If that's your thing, hey, that's great. But this was like you would have thought this person thought that vampires were going to try to break into their home. So many crosses, so many angels,
Some
square
inspirational
inch
paintings
of
and
this place,
scripture on every wall.
So that's why I
space.
couldn't go.
No,
on
you
the
would
trip.
have burst into
The
Hey, Amanda
bathroom-
was okay.
Somehow Amanda survived, but
Yeah.
she
She
had
did.
like a headache the whole time. It was like Obi-Wan Kenobi when the Death Star when the Death Star blew up Alderaan, right? She could feel something was
A
wrong.
disturbance in the
It
forest.
was
Yeah, just
disturbing.
that bathroom alone, I think there were
As if millions of voices
maybe
cried out in terror.
six different posters or pictures or whatever.
Yeah.
And this was just like a tiny bathroom. You could barely walk into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Crazy. It was a lot.
It was a lot, and
It's like-
and you always wonder like what's the mindset? It's like are we converting people who were coming, or are we just hoping that they're going to be these are good, nice Christian people who own this
Sure.
home?
Yeah.
Or is it like if we have all this stuff here, they'll be less likely to steal
Yeah.
stuff.
The heathens won't destroy my home.
The heathens won't destroy it. They'll behave themselves a little bit better if they think the owners are this straight.
There's just
favorite was
garlic
the-
cloves hanging over the bed.
My favorite was the carousel painting. The
Yeah.
rapture painting.
It looked like they had this giant painting. It looked like Carousel from Logan's Run.
It did.
There were all these millions
my
of
phone's over
angels flying up toward this glowing light in the middle. You just thought they were all
Well, at
gonna
first,
blow
they look
up.
like little fireflies because they're so small.
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
look at it, it's like little white
It's a
grove
painting of the rapture, and there's like all of these angels going up out of the city all at once.
Yeah.
That was a fascinating
but,
painting.
But Rick said we should have each wrote our name on one of them real small.
This is me. Yay.
Oh my.
Anyway, so that was interesting. You know, we got to be indoctrinated by someone else's ideology.
But if you notice,
Yeah.
no vampires attacked us while we were there.
You know
Be
what?
safe.
That's to their credit, we were not attacked. No one got possessed by demons.
No.
There was no vampire attacks. So yeah, to their credit, good on them. You know, it worked.
It worked.
It worked. As much smack talk as we talking, it worked. Let's see here. We talked about that. Oh, Aaron's car. Let's talk about that real quick. So when we're making Ghastly Love of Johnny X, Aaron's window of his convertible fell down into the door. Huge storms were coming in, and we just, in a panic, tried to get his convertible back together. We got it to the shop. Aaron has already paid the bill, but it's on his credit card, and so we want to try to help out Aaron, who sacrificed his automobile while making the Johnny X episode. And we have a separate GoFundMe.
And it's down to just a little over $200 away from the goal.
Oh,
so it's getting pretty close.
Yay.
All right.
But yeah, it's GoFundMe.com/fix-Aaron's AARONS -car.
Somebody just posted.
Yeah,
Put it in the
thank
chat.
you,
Okay,
Melody.
cool.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Miss Melody, for putting that in there.
Yeah, somebody else while we've been on gave like $115.
Oh, fantastic.
Never have a doormat
Oh.
that says "come in." Huey helped with the car repairs. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Awesome.
I love that the fans not only take care of the studio and take care, prop up Mr. Lobo with scotch tape and popsicle sticks, but they definitely see the work that the people behind the scenes do. They know how much work Aaron does. They know how much work John and Melody do. They know they know every person's involvement.
It's a ton of work, yeah.
Huge amount of respect for everybody, not just the host of the show. But that's what kind of sweethearts they are.
And most of my job is just sitting back here and yelling, "He died!" once in a while.
Yes. And then ending to your eyes bleed. That's the other thing.
Realistically, yeah.
Yeah. So there's that.
God, what episode was that?
When your eyes are bleeding?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
I think that was the cyberpunk.
I think you're right.
Wow.
Which it was.
real?
I was so sleep deprived. I'd been rubbing my eyes so much that I'd been up for a few days, and I was driving home from filming and doing stuff here, and I just look. I'm out in the parking lot, turn on my car, and look up at the rearview mirror, and just have blood streaming down.
Wow.
Because I had like split the sides of my eyes, so I had like bloody tears running down.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. This man mutilates himself. You can enjoy
See?
this show.
Unbelievable. It's not, and the show's not even that good.
That is dedication.
Sad part.
Yeah, I just remember it was one of those things
sacrifice.
where I looked up and saw that and was like, that's not going to help the vampire jokes any.
No.
For that alone,
Aaron-
his car should be paid
Aaron
off by
never
now.
comes out in the sun. He's
Deathly
definitely allergic to garlic.
Oh.
Bleeds from his eye. So everybody has these theories about Aaron. You know.
He doesn't show up on film.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why we had to put the Santo mask on him, because he wouldn't have even photographed.
And you suspect my cat is actually a familiar.
That's not even a cat, Aaron. Your cat behaves very strange. And the cat comes out like, Aaron, what the heck? Stop using people words. Terrifying.
And that was a new one that he heard before I did.
Wow.
She did it last time I was out of town. She would just start like crying for Aaron, and it sounds like a little kid yelling Aaron. And then it was like a day or two after I got back. I went to take a shower, and the bathroom is up against my bedroom door. And so, like, if she hears me off in the bathroom, she'll cry for me. And I just hear, Aaron, Aaron. I was like, what?
Wow.
You stop that right now.
Which I'm guessing she just learned to parrot it from hearing you call me and me reacting.
You probably hear it.
Man.
Yeah, because she knows how to say hello. She knows how to call for help. And now she knows how to call Aaron.
Yeah,
Wow.
terrifying.
Jeez.
We're going to have police breaking down our door. We have like a child trap.
Oh, God, the other night, Yumi and Dixie were all here late. And then I got back to the house a few minutes before you guys did, and she was doing that so loud, I heard it when I got out of my car. I hear a little kid yelling Aaron from inside the house, and I was like, people are going to call the cops. So I had to run upstairs.
Weird, man.
Yeah.
Weirdness. Too much weirdness. So I want to do a shout out to our affiliates real quick. We're going to get into this movie. Don't worry. We're gonna get into tonight's episode. And it's a short one. The Hot special short. Does Aaron's cat know how to associate produce? No. No, this
Not
cat's too
yet.
needy.
She,
This cat wants us to be its associate producer. What?
she when we would film at the house, she used to climb up and headbutt the tripod and mess up tape because the camera would move. And then one time when Johnny was teleprompting, she just jumped up on his shoulder like wanting a hug.
No, she's not great for production. She's an anti-producer.
One of those the watch parties that we did for Facebook, when you had me leave the door open because I was going to shut her out, and then she just kept walking around, getting in the shot, like getting in front of you, and then bathing herself.
And then baby cat would do one of two things: pee on the
Black curtain.
On the curtain.
Oh.
So we would be there, and we hear the, and it would smell it.
Yeah.
And the other thing is she would go behind the black curtain and go to sleep, and it would sound like a hobo.
Yeah,
Like a grown man crashing out.
yeah, like
behind
there's a
you.
200-pound man snoring behind that curtain.
So garbage cat is not allowed on set. I have a rule about pets in the studio. It's like if they're not working, they can't be. So if we end up making a cat food commercial or something in here, okay, we can have a pet in here. If it's someone's service animal, yeah. But if they're not working, if they're not on the clock, I don't want their ass in here unless they're working.
And I think I'm Stray's service animal more than the reverse.
All right, TV affiliates. We are still on the air on some TV stations across the country. We're Pacific Coast Television, of course, in California. We're on WBXZ in Buffalo, New York. And tonight they're showing the Vampire Hunters Club. That might be over already. Was it 10 o'clock? They showed the Vampire Hunters Club.
Oh yeah, and it's 11:35.
So they're
Probably ends
still
at
watching.
midnight.
It might be, yeah.
Midnight or 12:30.
So our Buffalo friends are probably just finishing. See, they'll be able to watch this movie now.
Yeah.
They'll be able to jump over and watch this. But Vampire Hunters Club's a weird episode. It's the first appearance of Countess Blood Sugar, and it's not one that's seen often. So
Yeah.
if you want to see that episode and you live in the Buffalo area, why are you watching us right now? You could be watching that. And then this is Public Media Network, PMN1 in Kalamazoo, Michigan, has Frankenstein versus the Creature from Blood Cove. Another unusual episode for a syndication package. Certainly unusual for public television. But that episode is airing right now, tonight at midnight. Frankenstein versus the Creature. Sorry. That's next Thursday night.
No, next.
Which would be Friday early at midnight or Thursday at midnight. Pick your midnight. But basically, late Thursday.
Don't
early
pick your friend's
Friday.
midnight.
That's right. Frankenstein versus the Creature. And tonight at midnight on CMN TV 18 in Oakland County, Michigan, where they're showing Night of the Living Dead. So Night of the Living Dead is airing tonight on our Michigan station. On Thursday night late is Frankenstein versus the Creature. And right now in Buffalo, on Saturday nights, they're showing Cinema Insomnia, and tonight's episode was Vampire Hunters Club. So I wanted to mention that. Speaking of bubbles, okay, and you've got the bubble gun.
Speaking of bubbles.
One more piece of business. When we were talking about kids, I should have said this.
Oh no!
Again, this is a picture of Edie. This is what I should have been showing. This is why we're doing this. This is Edie dressed up as Mr. Lobo.
That's amazing.
I want to see little Mr. Lobo fight little Sally.
Oh no!
Cage match.
Let them fight. Isn't that great?
That is
That's
awesome.
amazing. I love
Look
that.
at that.
So, anyhow, when you're an associate producer, like I said, but when you're an associate producer of our kids episode, the Giant Monster Air Sea Battle, Super Turtle meets Shovel Face, y'all never mess it up because I said it 10 times. You will get a Blu-ray, just like our folks who have backed our newest episode. The Boy in the Plastic Bubble. This is our proof that just came back from manufacturer.
Yeah, I just got it this afternoon.
Just got it from. This is what it's going to look like. I think the original photo of it was green, and then we realized we had 3 other green ones that we had done. So we thought we would vary it a little bit more. This is kind of a teal teal blue. Beautiful artwork from Dixie. You're going to get the DVD and the
Blu-ray.
the Blu-ray and the DVD, and you get this little poster inside of the cover. It will be autographed to you. You will have a screen-used blue card. Here's what the back of it looks like. We want to thank all our backers who made this possible. We wouldn't be able to do this. We wouldn't have been able to make the show, and certainly would have been able to make a Blu-ray if we didn't have your support as an associate producer. We believe in physical media. I think it's really important to support physical media.
Definitely.
I think that collectors and archivists are heroes. You don't want to depend on Netflix to archive anything for you.
No.
Especially with the way now all these streaming services have started pulling content off.
Yeah. Stuff
Or
disappears
editing
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
Or editing it. Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot lately it's just been disappearing entirely now.
Mm-hmm.
Will you be bringing that to MonsterFest for purchase there?
Yes,
Yeah.
I will. I'll be bringing all 11 of our, or whatever, however many we have at that point.
Yeah, by then we'll have a couple more probably.
However many we have of our Blu-rays we'll have at Monster Fest. We'll also have 32, maybe more, because we're talking with Alpha again. I had said on the stream lately that Alpha, things have slowed down with Alpha, and we know that they sold the warehouse. And if you want to get a DVD, Alpha Video DVD of Cinema Insomnia, might be a good time to stock up, because we don't know how much longer this gravy train is with Alpha is going to go.
Yeah.
Right.
But they have asked for another.
Did we get back to them after they asked us for suggestions?
We're going to talk about this now in front of everybody else.
I was just yes or no. Do we still need to get back to them, or did we do it already? Oh, okay.
They put it in our lap. They said, we want to do another.
Well, I know you and I discussed it and picked a couple. I just didn't know if either one of us ever got back to them about it.
They said, yes, we want to do another DVD for Alpha. They have 32 of them.
Wow.
I don't know. How many horror hosts have 32 of their episodes on, on DVD?
Yeah.
Anyhow, so
Not this many.
They have 32. I know Elvira might have 32 episodes on DVD.
Now that we haven't gotten back to them, I'll remember to remind you next week. Email.
Yeah, and we'll take some suggestions to offer up to Alpha too, if you want to say which one you want to see on DVD. Anyhow, they said, pitch us what you think our next Alpha DVD is. So we're not done with Alpha. So it's still a good idea to stock up on your DVDs. But anyhow, with the Blu-rays, I think that this is a great way, and the DVDs, a great way to show your support and actually have something.
Yeah.
You know, this is your proof. You know, you've got it. You know, it's insurance. And I feel like I don't know. It's just like when you go to people's houses and they've got nothing on their shelves and nothing on their walls.
Sad.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. When my friends over, I want to show them my stuff.
Exactly.
You know, and if you're going to show them something, you can say, I helped make this show. My name is in this. So anyhow, something to think about with our episodes that I mentioned before: Gassy Love of Johnny X, Super Turtle meets Shovel Face, Giant
Shovelface.
Monster Airspeed Battle, Super Turtle meets Shovel Face, and Bela Lugosi meets a Brooklyn Gorilla, which oddly enough is the real title of that movie. You can so far, yes. We could change it at any time.
Dracula versus Kong.
But we have, like I said, we have 11 Blu-rays now, 32 DVDs. Again, a great way to show your support, and of course the pre-orders where you can be an associate producer. So VR Commander says, I regard my IMDb entry with pride. Yes, you're on the Internet Movie Database with all the biggest stars, all the biggest producers, all the directors in the world. Your name's on there too because of Cinema Insomnia. So that's great. I love it. All right, did we talk about everything? We had so much to do, guys.
Yeah, geez.
So much work. We talked about the Roku channel, right? Yeah, because we said John Dimes' stuff was on there. We've got our website, osi74.com. All our shows are there. We've got our Twitch. We've got Blu-rays. We've got MonsterFest. We've got Rocky Horror. I think we've got it.
I think we covered it.
So we're gonna Rob and Phyllis are gonna stay with us. They've got their headphones. We're gonna try our snazzy new
Yes.
earpieces here so that we can hear the movie, and hopefully that works tonight. And we're all gonna watch the Haunted House special together. So I guess this isn't necessarily goodbye, but I guess I want to thank you right now.
Oh, thank you.
For joining me here tonight. I just, wonderful people, just absolutely the best. So, what is happening there? I can hear weirdness in my ears. How is the studio Patreon going? It's a little bit low, Dale. But we are going to be pushing it hard for June. So, but you're always welcome to make a donation for our studio space. This is what makes all of this possible, which is cinemainsomnia.com/support or gofundme.com/OSI-studios. So, yeah.
Well, did you say Patreon though?
What did I say?
You said Patreon. Did they say Patreon, or did they say?
I think they said Patreon, but I think they meant the studio GoFundMe. The GoFundMe just for the studio.
Okay.
Right? Is that what you meant, Dale? Did you mean that? We do have a Patreon for OSI and Cinema Insomnia. You meant GoFundMe.
Okay, cool.
All right. If you are comfortable with Patreon and subscribing to Patreon and making a donation there, that's always a welcome thing. Just be sure that if you've signed up for any rewards, that you contact us, send us a message and say, hey, I signed up for this particular reward, because the interface of Patreon is not the best, and I am not the best at running the Patreon. So just make sure. Keep us honest and say, hey, I signed up for Patreon. This is the thing I'm supposed to get, and we'll get it to you. Okay? All right. Well, the oath. How could we not do the oath? Phyllis, I think you're going to have to do the honors with the spinner. If I can find the umbrella. Here it is.
Oh, it's right. That one's over there.
A multiple spinner.
Let's make sure this one works. All right.
All right, am I getting behind you?
Oh, you're going to stand right behind me? Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
So assume the position and repeat after Mr. Lobo. You got that popped into place? There you go.
Okay.
Assume the position, repeat after Mr. Lobo. I, as an initiated member
As an initiated member
of the Sleepless Nights of Insomnia,
of the Sleepless Nights of Insomnia,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to watch the movie,
to watch the movie,
the whole movie, and nothing but the movie.
and nothing but the movie.
So help me, Mr. Lobo.
So help me, Mr. Lobo.
And the Floyds.
And some eye drops.
And some eye drops. I know. It hurt. It burns.
Man.
It burns.
I want to spin the spinner next
now-
time. You do this.
And without any further ado, Cinema Insomnia's Twitch channel proudly presents the Haunted House Special.
My
Oh, yeah.
power. Look
You're on the
into
screen still.
the hypnotic eye.
We're here.
What is doing all this work?
What is the point of doing it? So we're still here. Do you want to go get your food?
Yeah. But we should have
Time
done
now
this
to
then.
enter Mr. Lobo's domain. Look out!
We'll be right back.
Open your mind to the possibility that they're not bad movies, just misunderstood. You're not dreaming. You're watching Cinema Insomnia.
There it is. Haunted House Special. Wow. This is so weird. We're still here.
You're not dreaming. You're watching Cinema Insomnia's Haunted House Special. I'm your horror host, Mr. Lobo. Miss Mittens and I would love to wish you all a happy Halloween We've been hosting Misunderstood Movies here on the set of Cinema Insomnia for almost 13 years. That's a lot of miles on Mr. Lobo's throat. And if you've got a sore throat, we personally recommend deliciously effective Pine Brothers Softest Throat Drops, trusted by American families for over 140 years. That's so much trust, it's scary. Try Pine Brothers for mild throat irritation and find out what all the fuss is
we can be
about.
friends
you'll know,
and
like we
still.
do, there's nothing else like a Pine Brothers Softest Throat Drop. A treat and a treatment. And speaking of treats, tonight we have a special treat.
You've seen this before, right?
Oh, yeah. A couple times.
In honor of Hell's Bank Holiday, Halloween, we are bravely going into and spending the night old, dark, abandoned house. or what the
Purdy
locals call
loves red vines.
Senor Casanegro. You may know it better as the famous chest burster mystery house in Northern Virginia.
Lorraine has
We're
the poster and the
on
DVD.
camera,
Oh, cool.
a few self-proclaimed experts,
It's in
and a bunch
Northern
of
Virginia.
gadgets we bought at the Radio Shack to finally solve in one night what has confounded the rest of the world for over 100 years. Excuse me. Well, it does sound a bit arrogant now that I say it all out loud. I mean, maybe we should have given ourselves the whole weekend. Anyway, no,
We
you
just got
cannot-
nominated for the
Miss Mittens,
best
it
live
is
action
too
reaction
dangerous.
to rolling
You need to
video
stay here
of sitting in a
and
rocking
hold down
chair.
the fort. This is a job for qualified pseudoscientists and only our bravest, most loyal viewers. Are you ready?
Horse and vodka.
The ghosts are waiting. Let's go.
Heard you on the Fangoria Chainsaw Award.
Oh.
Awooga, sir. Thank you.
Cool.
A lot of people could recognize my voice. Have you seen this movie?
I didn't know something here.
The Haunting?
Oh, yeah. We did a podcast episode
I
on
know the
this.
supernatural is something that isn't supposed to happen, but it does happen.
Now look, Doc, we're buddies, okay? But don't try to convert me.
I'm trying to prepare you. My name's
Lee
Mark.
Finney, thanks for coming. I know you worked hard.
A scientist interested in the
You're a hard
supernatural.
worker.
The unnatural, if you like.
Adulting.
I came to Hill House to find the key to
Adulting.
another
Relax.
world.
Enjoy your time with your friends after
Assisting
work.
me in this exploration of the unknown was Eleanor, Nell, who could look back into the past, and Theo.
This is pretty
something of a
exciting.
witch.
This has never been done before.
This is
This is awesome.
who
I'm happy
didn't
to be here
believe
for
in
the
anything
first.
Yeah.
Until evil, patient and waiting, made him change his mind.
I mean, any amateur can put silhouettes at the bottom.
And then have their back to the audience.
Disrespecting the audience that way.
What do they think they are, the Doors?
Oh,
we cannot
gee.
or do not want to understand, simply because we are afraid.
Eleanor, you're Paul. Did you hear me calling?
Yeah, do both. Can't hear. Oh, there we go.
I hear you. I can hear
was
you in my ear.
produced and directed
Yeah.
by Robert Wise.
I can hear you now.
Brilliant producer
Uh-huh.
of West Side Story. The stars consist of a cross-section of top talent
Hello,
in the
hello,
world
hello.
of entertainment.
I can hear me.
Mama,
Julie
mama,
Harris.
hello.
Claire Bloom, Richard Johnson, Russ Tamblyn.
I did a show with Russ Tamblyn where I did a seance,
Always rest in peace.
and I said, we're not going to talk about, like, you know, the really bad movies that you've been in, and please come and talk to us. And then, of course, he walks out on stage because we had Russ Tamblyn as a guest. And then I'm like, I didn't know you were still alive. I guess the rumors on the internet shouldn't be listened to. Or whatever. He was a good sport to do that.
That's cool.
Yeah, we did a seance to raise Russ Tamblyn.
Literally ends here. Sorry.
That was in the
about that.
Castro Theater.
We're not allowed to go any further than this point without an armed escort from the local law enforcement, and I believe the sheriff is coming up now.
Howdy, Mr. Lobo. Sheriff Bronson Canyon. I'm here to escort you into the chest burster house.
Good to meet you, Sheriff.
Sorry, I have to apologize for being a little late.
That guy looks
I had to
familiar.
take out a sniper up at the preschool.
He's not
So that's
coming
all
though?
the flashing lights and traffic
Nah.
and screaming was about. Well, it's
Maybe
a good
he'll change
thing
his
you're
mind.
Finally here,
Maybe.
Sheriff.
Yep. This ghost house. That's the real problem with this town. Having you here making a TV show about it, we're all gonna sleep a lot easier.
Well, Sheriff, as a duly appointed representative of the media, I humbly say that Mr. Lobo is just doing his job.
Yeah, something I want to ask you. Is your name really Mr. Lobo?
That's right.
You know, you ought to show Western movies. Then you can call yourself Sheriff Lobo. Sheriff Lobo.
Yeah, Sheriff Lobo. Yeah, the TV show. Yeah,
Or
not only is that timely,
General
but
Aldo.
justifies all those countless hurtful schoolyard taunts.
Well, your bullies had very good taste.
Not really. No, BJ and the Bear was the biggest hit in the country. It was like dumbed down Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, enough small talk. Oh, I do want to remind you that you did sign a waiver. stating
Dixie and
that
I
these
made his whole
premises are
costume.
Not safe.
Oh,
Condemned by the county. Okay, let's go. That is, unless you're scared.
Scared. Sheriff, I don't think you understand what it is that I do here.
Damn straight.
I am a horror movie host. I have shown thousands of haunted house movies. We've seen things that
are there thousands of
you
haunted house
people in
movies?
law enforcement would not believe. Things that would
We've
make
seen
your
things
heart
that you people in law enforcement
pump
would not
blood
believe.
and your stomach break down food. Haven't we, viewers? Haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go.
Good job, Dick Gazelle. It was suddenly a Don Toller movie for 5 minutes there. Dick Gazelle was in a lot of Don Toller movies. Alien Factor, right?
Do what?
Don Toller movies that Dick Gazelle has been in.
Especially for the
No,
adult movie
I don't think so.
until
Alien Factor, I think, is one of them, and
I have not seen
I'm sure
that.
that people in the group can name all the Don Toller movies.
Let's see who can name them the quickest.
20th Century Fox,
And
which presented
go.
Deborah Carr in Heaven Knows Mr. Allison, and such outstanding motion picture
Over there.
immortals as Snake Pit, Gentleman's Agreement, and Peyton Place, now gives you The Innocents.
It's funny because I know them all, I just can't spit them out. All I'm thinking about is chewing red vines and then hearing this trailer in my ear full volume
And our voices echo.
and our own voices coming back.
But it's kind of surreal.
But I made this, and we made like the little pins and everything, like on his sheriff outfit.
Oh, yeah?
These are, the ones that are here, actually little Tasmanian devil as angels. Like we found a Tasmanian devil angel as a pewter pin. We bought 2 of them and we put those as the things that go right here. And then his badge is just made, his name tag is just a popsicle stick that we cut the sides off of and I painted. And then we put the, one of those dino tape things on the popsicle stick.
Oh, cool.
And then it was like a kid's badge that I painted up. I put the stripe on it and everything. The badge that goes here. And then, yeah, we just built the whole sheriff's outfit.
That's cool.
That's very cool.
And the hat was a little too small for Dick. And I told him, you could just gesture with it. You don't have to wear it.
Yeah.
He goes, no, I'm going to wear it. And he jammed that hat on his head. And he had like a bloody bruise right here on his forehead. And I'm like, Dick, he just committed. Like I'm like, Dick, you don't have to wear it. He goes, no, I'm wearing it.
Yeah.
And he just wore that hat that was a little too small because it was the only hat we could find.
Yeah.
And he just committed to it. I was just so like amazed. He was a pro. Yeah, he did a great job.
I have somehow lost you in my.
Oh, wait, there we go.
headset.
Galaxy Invader, Night Beast. Alien Factor.
Oh, there we go. Galaxy Invader, Night Beast, Alien Factor. Yeah, and I think Dick Dizelle was in all of those.
Do they ever return to possess the living?
So I have lost you in my headset.
If you think you're not afraid
Take one
of the
out.
dark,
Yeah.
if you think you have a strong stomach, if you feel nothing can shock you, if you say you don't scare easily,
You didn't stay in the
if you
Jesus house
believe
last night.
you've seen everything, then prepare
Is that Percy
yourself
Rodriguez,
for
you think? The voiceover?
Oh, we did a podcast on this recently.
What are they?
We did.
Raging demons from another world? Bloodthirsty creatures that must be killed? Or incarnations of absolute evil?
Percy Rodriguez did the just when you thought it was
They
safe
possess
to
men,
go back in the water.
women, and children, and drive them to acts of unbelievable horror.
It's Chucky Milk
No one
time.
is sacred.
Ah, Chucky Milk time.
No power on earth can stop them.
And I think he's the
Only
Loch
escape
Nod.
is death.
I think Percy Rodriguez might be the Loch Nod.
Oh, yeah.
If this picture doesn't make you scream and squirm,
Well,
you'd better see a
I'm the
psychiatrist.
sum total of all evil.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do it with red vines in my mouth.
And what a good job
you
you're
believe
doing.
in ghosts, Mr. Lobo?
Well, that depends. Sometimes I believe and sometimes I don't. Sometimes both at the same time.
You're
Doesn't
right.
that make you
Revenge of
kind
the Devil back.
hypocritical?
It wasn't that.
Well, just because I don't act in accordance to my true thoughts and feelings, that does not make Mr. Lobo a hypocrite.
It doesn't.
Well, let me explain something to you, Sheriff. You know, I was a bit conservative in my younger days, not the footloose and fancy-free man that you see before you today. I belong to a group of skeptics.
Did you finish that whole bag
We
of red
were
vines already?
Normal investigators, not
It's delicious.
paranormal.
I couldn't help it.
Normal investigators. We set out to prove that fake ghosts were real and vice versa. We were called the Totally Fake Ghostbusters. Until a certain movie came out in 1984, kind of knocked the wind out of our sheets. You know, the whole bottom fell out of that whole early 80s trend of logic and critical thinking. Kind of naive thinking about it now, since, of course, ghosts are accepted as real by the mainstream and big business. But tonight, we're getting the band back together after a 25-year hiatus to debunk this bunker and prove beyond a shadow of a doubt to today's crystal-hugging, pseudoscientific, spiritual-minded
Mr. Lobo's
world
new stage
that
name.
maybe,
Percy Red
just
Vines.
maybe, Sheriff, that real fake ghosts exist.
You're crazy. You know that?
Possible. But, Sheriff, we are going to prove that the Chestburster Mystery House is haunted by fake ghosts.
Okay.
Okay.
Whatever you say, fella.
I drew the logo of the fake Ghostbusters. The
I love it.
cartoon ghost with the sheet over him, with you see the
That's
shoes
great.
underneath. We did film in an actual house that had a haunted, that was thought to be haunted locally. They tore it down briefly after us filming in there. This is actually not the
Well, this is
entrance
as
to that
far as
house.
I
though.
go, Mr. Lobo.
Oh, where's this?
This
I've
was on the
unlocked front
property
door.
at Zombie
This is the only way
Studios.
in
Okay.
or out of the house. But this is my final warning. This is condemned premises. You and your crew
Do you have a
go in
a
at your
dividing
own
line there
risk.
for the red vines and Twizzlers?
I understand, Sheriff, and I appreciate that you're out here guarding against
It's a
trespassers who
gerrymandering,
may
I think.
interfere
That's
with our
right.
investigation. And do make sure that my old
You are correct,
colleagues
sir.
get through the barricade and into the house. They should be here any
Red
minute.
vines,
Sure.
man.
I've got nothing better to do. I'm sure that sniper mess will clean itself up all by itself. Well, good luck on your Al Capone vault thingy.
Much obliged, Sheriff. That guy needs some fresher TV
You
references.
need some fresher TV references. If you also notice, the sheriff
with
has a
Mr.
Knight
Lobo.
Rider coloring book in his pocket, front pocket. Yeah.
Come now.
with Mr.
activity
Lobo.
book. Knight Rider coloring and activity book in
I
his
need
up
that.
front pocket.
We had one.
Not Knight Rider. I did.
It's about this big. It's an ash can size.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there it is, over there.
Haunted house, weebles wobble all about it. It's a real exciting place to be. A smiling ghost with glowing face has a secret hiding place, and
I love
that's
that you
not
can
all.
bring it
There's
out.
plenty more to see. Cause a Weeble's haunted house is a great place to be. Weeble's haunted house, including glow-in-the-dark Weeble ghost
so loud
from
there.
Romper Room.
A ghost couch.
Yeah,
It was
I asked
on
on one of those at MonsterFest.
Really?
It didn't have anything in it. It was just a shell, and it was cheap. It was probably like $10 or something.
Subliminal perception.
I don't have the ghosts. I don't have the ghost. I don't have a ghost. I have the house though.
So if anybody out there has a Weeble ghost, send it to Mr. Lobo, care of.
I'll send you an autograph. Just send me a Weeble ghost.
And another free pass to MonsterFest.
And another free pass to MonsterFest with it.
Take me away, take me away.
Shirley, what is it? What's wrong?
No, look at that.
It's the house.
Ah,
It's got a little handle.
Who's inside?
that's cool. I didn't know how to handle.
It's horrible.
That's awesome.
Subliminal perception. How does
It's
it work?
horrible.
Here is a scene
It's
as audiences will see it.
horrible.
And here is the same scene as your brain will see it and feel it.
My mom and dad
Only
wouldn't let me have a
2% can
Weeble's
detect
haunted house when I was a
subliminal
kid
images.
because Weebles were for
Take her away
girls.
from here at once
Wow.
if you've got any sense left.
You're going to get all fruity if you play with that Weeble haunted house.
You apparently played with the Weeble's haunted house, huh?
Climb those stairs.
What?
I'll die.
I said you
I know
apparently
it.
played with the Weeble's haunted house then.
Suspenseful and exciting as the picture is.
Now, I
Now you will
totally
feel greater tension,
missed the
shock,
trailer. Is this
horror
Terror in the Haunted House?
Yeah.
than any
Yeah.
human
I had this
being
on
has ever
VHS.
experienced at a movie.
And it had all the.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't subliminal, it was flashes.
Yes,
You could
little flashy. Was that the Rhino video? The Rhino
Yeah.
version?
Uh-huh.
Yes. And one of those flashes says rent Rhino videos every day.
I've got to look see if I still have that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine getting rid of it.
I like the gym.
There's like 5 movies that all have the same plot. This is one of them. It's just Gaslight with a haunted house. Screaming Skull is the same thing also. Lobo's Haunted House with CI character Wobblers
We
needs a
are
Kickstarter campaign.
officially
Oh, wow.
inside
If we had a little John Dimes Weeble and a little Mr. Lobo
haunted
Weeble,
house.
a little Cogorella Weeble.
That's
That
been
would be
dressed
awesome.
up to look more haunted by our staff here at Cinema Insomnia.
Because we knew the Weeble would show up.
Yeah. Damn. John's like, his ears are burning somewhere.
It's a bit too
Ow,
early in
ow,
the show to
why?
see something really scary, so expect
quarter.
plenty of fake
No quarter.
scares, as is typical of the genre.
Johnny 3D just made a quick cameo here. So you guys can hear us okay and we're not echoey or anything?
I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear
Yeah,
me.
Well, not in here, but you can hear him out here.
Yeah, but not in. I used to have.
You hear each other in the ears returns or not.
Looks like
I don't know if we should.
I took one out.
It's weird, right? Hearing the
Yeah.
echo of ourselves.
I took one out so I can hear you good and I can hear that good.
Oh, okay. I could take one out.
Yeah, so see,
Yeah.
that works pretty
Oh,
good
that
that
works
way.
pretty good, yeah. Then I can hear the movie and hear you.
Yeah.
This is like TV news where they just have the one,
That's right.
you know.
But this just in,
This is your off-camera announcer.
nice action on that.
Generalissimo Francisco Franco is still dead.
Hades,
Exactly.
can't abide cherubs.
Kent Brockman. Yes.
Lit lantern, that's weird.
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
Portrait of Lady
Buckwheat has been
Sarah
shot.
Chestburster.
Did we roll that
As the
film
story
again?
goes, she was cursed.
Oh
by the
my
Sarajevo
God, that was
Indians. Their
hilarious.
entire
That
race
was.
was wiped out by a
Did you just call them
four-barrel repeating
Slapaho
rifle
Indians?
called the
Yeah.
Chestburster. Chestburster Firearms Company sold the patent to the Department of Indian Affairs for millions. The
gun itself was banned, along with mustard gas, in the closing hours of World War I. After her husband and her little girl died under mysterious circumstances, she consulted a Swami who advised her that if she wanted to avoid a mysterious death herself,
We built this out of trash.
infuse
We're
the
done.
ghosts with an ongoing, never-ending construction of her own house.
I made
Ooh, jeepers! Don't do that! You know how Mr. Lobo hates fake scares.
It's too early in the show to do anything else.
I already told them that earlier.
Is this any way to treat an old colleague? Aren't you going to introduce me to your television friends?
All right, everybody. This is one of the totally fake Ghostbusters.
Yes, I was the black one.
No, you're thinking of the other Ghostbusters. You were the one in the wheelchair, and the leader, as I recall, Professor Exorcist.
Yes, it was so many years ago. We were like the X-Men and the Burger King Kids Club all rolled into one.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen these in ages. I wonder if they still fit.
They always had one character that had goggles for no reason. That would be
we were
my
just trying to
character.
ride that whole Ghostbusters thing, you know, the movie and the 2 cartoon shows and the breakfast cereal. We had our own kid show. It was at weekday mornings at 5 a.m. on PBS, in accordance with Ronald Reagan's call for educational and informational shows for children.
Yes, I retired in 1988 after the totally fake Ghostbusters were given the dubious honor, the Skeptic Tank Award by the Pope for peddling, what's it, science and critical thinking to minors.
You still wear the priest collar.
Yes, fall from grace or no, I still look damn good in it.
You do look good in it, old friend. Well, if the movies have taught us anything, it's that you can't clean up an old haunted house without a man of the cloth present. Do you need any help, like, sprinkling holy water around?
As a matter of fact, yes. Can you help me with the restroom? It's been a long ride.
It's not exactly what Mr. Lobo meant. Right. We're gonna have some more adventures with terror and accessibility right after this. Why don't you get
Rob,
yourself?
who has lived his whole life in a wheelchair, wrote a lot of the jokes for Professor X. Rob McCarthy. He has a comic strip called Hell on Wheels, and one of his gripes is that he can never get anyone to help him go to the bathroom. And I thought, I have to write that into the story where Mr. Lobo helps Professor X Exorcist use the restroom.
That's awesome. Did you watch the IT Crowd? Have you ever seen that
Yeah,
show?
it's a great show.
I'm disabled.
Oh yeah.
The personable Mark
How are you disabled? Leg disabled.
Leg disabled.
Leg disabled.
Even though one is from the netherworld.
He was in the Disables, which is what they
Yeah.
call the handicap restroom in England.
Yeah, they just took that off of Netflix.
IT Crowd? Oh, because we were talking about things that were disappearing from Netflix.
Yep, that's one
And
of
it
them.
disappeared recently.
But if you had it on Blu-ray or DVD, you could watch it anytime you want. You have all the ice
gonna
water
have
you
to do
want.
it.
All the ice water you want.
Even if you just want some ice water.
Yeah, get yourself a Sprite.
Fan of orange.
Fan of orange.
Favorite candy bar. Got Zag Nut.
No one knows what we're talking
Chicken
about.
dinner.
Chicken dinner, that's a good candy bar. Rob has these tapes when you're driving around in the Fantasmo mobile of this announcer from what's the name of the
Skyland Drive-In.
Skyland Drive-In.
Greenville, South Carolina.
Greenville, South Carolina, and there was a man named Snodgrass, right?
Elmer P. Snodgrass.
Elmer P. Snodgrass, who was a local DJ or musician, right?
He was a DJ, and he had a bluegrass band. And he did announcements at the drive-in on weekends.
He did the announcement at the drive-in on weekends, and we would just listen to his drive-in theater announcements as we drive around and laugh and laugh.
So good.
What was the argument whether it was a concession stand or
yeah.
snack
Come on
bar?
down to the concession stand. Mr. Douglas wants me to call it a concession cafeteria. I think it's a stand. What do you think? Let's take a horn poll.
Let's take a horn poll. Honk, honk, honk. Well, we want it to be a stand. Honk, honk, honk. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Douglas, looks like they like concessions.
In this house, 25 years ago, a child
Those things are so big.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing.
he was raised
It was
in
funny because
isolation.
Paul Bonnell came down here to do the Gas and Electric Johnny X episode, and he's trying to describe that to me, and I'm like, I know that thing. Yes. I'm all about it.
And
This must be something that weird movie kids listen to.
he has come of age.
It's on a collection of Ford CDs.
Yeah.
They're drive-in intermission, drive-in commercials and trailers. And I think I got it, or Craig got it at one of Monster Bash, one of the conventions, and I copied it from him, and then just been listening to it all the time.
So good.
Yeah.
So fun. I just love I don't know. It's just, I love that whole weird movie culture, all the ballyhoo and all the weirdness.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Just the announcements and the promotionals and every part of it is just all has good feels attached to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's a lot of heart in what putting it together and putting it on. And
Showmanship.
Exactly.
Showmanship.
And I agree with, I think it was Grumpy Panda that said Matt Berry is national treasure.
Oh, I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's so talented. Musician, comedian, actor. He's really amazing. Hilarious. Jealous of his career.
Don't go in the house.
Don't do it.
Don't.
A lot of don'ts.
Don't. Thought we ought to do a podcast sometime on all the don't movies.
Yes. Don't slam the screen door. Don't put your feet up on the furniture. Don't put that in your mouth.
Her sister, and her niece moved
Don't drag your butt across the website.
only a 13-room farmhouse. She then proceeded to spend her entire $200 jillion.
I love this. All this too much exposition. Like I thought that would be funny if this level kept going on and on.
And features that are just confounding and crazy, like the staircase. Look, it goes up, but it doesn't come down.
That's strange. They don't even go up for me. They told me this haunted house was wheelchair accessible. They ought to shut this place down.
It already is shut down. It's abandoned. It's been totally empty since Lady Chestburster died.
How did she die?
After continuous construction of the house, 24
Let me continue
hours a
my
day,
story.
7 days a week, 365 days a year for 100 years, Lady Chestburster finally died at the age of 133 when the construction crew took an extra long coffee break.
Poor thing.
All right, I'm gonna go up.
What's the movie tonight?
The movie tonight, Sensei, is the Haunted House Special, the Cinema Insomnia Haunted House Special, which does not have a feature film. It has lots of trailers and things.
The other end of this rope.
Extension cord.
Around your wheelchair. Keep in contact.
I think it was a rope in the script, but all we had was an extension cord, and I thought it'd be funny if I just kept saying rope, and then he kept correcting me that it was an extension cord. And these walkie-talkies, when I presented these to John, he's like, oh, my brother and I played with these same walkie-talkies.
Is that those that were over there?
Where else am I gonna go?
You've got them too.
If I find
Actual
anything down
props
here, I'll
used in this episode.
contact
We
you
were
on
just
this.
talking about the walkie-talkies.
Okay, onward. Here goes first step. Baby steps.
Can you hear me now?
Mountain pins.
But John's eyes, like, he just lit up. Like, this was like we were bringing back part of his childhood.
That's awesome.
I mean, those are some heavy-duty
I'm
walkie-talkies.
on the first landing.
Rampart,
Can
squat
almost see the
51.
top of the
Rampart.
stairs. It's so dark. Here we go. One more. Okay. All right. We're almost there. I can see where the railing ends.
So I read that enough robbed Floyd to power a satellite.
Look at that.
Dale loves to talk about fountain pens, so he's just saying, he's filling them in by saying that we have these guests who love talking about fountain pens.
Hello, Vincent Price. Hey, Professor, did you put this candelabra up here?
Oh, I almost went down the stairs that don't go down.
Mr. Lowe forgot. These stairs don't go down. Professor?
Oh, that's John Dimes.
Yes.
Someone said they didn't know his name.
Oh.
Professor, did you put the candelabra up here? Over?
Yeah, you have to say over.
Over.
Professor?
I still have that suit. It's got candle wax all
Professor,
down.
are you okay?
Wow.
Over? Professor, did you find anything? Over.
I found the basement.
Martin McCobb, yes.
You forgot to say over. Over.
Exactly. Got my emergency reference.
This thing of John pulling himself up into the chair, I was pretty impressed by. And this was a set. This basement set was made at Zombie Studios, Zombie TV Studios. And look at that, they had a great boiler, like a fake boiler in there.
Wow.
And then there was this, all these, we brought in all the taxidermy and stuff in there. Some of that belonged to Dixie's mom.
Oh, wow.
The hootenanny there is made from a deer's behind. You see that? They put they put like a bobcat's mouth on a deer's behind.
Wow.
Weird.
I found
That was Lainey
tape
Lofton
recorder.
gave that to us.
See what's on it. Over.
See the fire behind, the fake fire there behind him, out of the boiler. And then this was another vintage thing we found.
This is Dr. Robert Goodwill, Department of Cursed Objects.
Sven Gooley doing the
Log
voice.
entry
Oh,
number
nice.
2.
Nice.
I believe I have made a significant flea market find. It was in one of the rear booths near the churro stand that we stumbled upon something remarkable. Necro Bambino Biondo Ogogo, roughly translated, the young magician's box of tricks. My wife and I brought the box to this abandoned house, where I could study it undisturbed and begin to follow the instructions. A booklet of the
More
dead.
actual
They speak
props
of a
from this episode.
Power that lurks in clenched bowels of man's domain. It is through the recitation of the book's passages that these dark powers can be released.
Look at that.
Included here are the phonetic pronunciations of those passages.
And you are there,
Abra,
or here.
Kadabra, Alakazam,
Awesome.
Presto.
I thought, what if the Necronomicon was something like this? It's always like a Ouija board. It's always a toy, you know, puzzle box. Like, what about this like funny
Something
kid
innocent
magic
looking,
trick? Yeah. And then I made the booklet of the dead went along with it. That doesn't have a booklet because everything has the instructions built.
That's another don't. Don't read it.
Don't. Don't. Don't read it. Don't read this either. Don't hold her in.
Dabra, Alakazam, Presto.
Better dead than red.
Burn, baby, burn.
This trick is actually not bad. Don't punch out these paddles. Don't say these words.
Oh, paddles are punched.
Yeah.
It's a world of trouble now.
Oh, that's it. Here come the demons.
Attention,
That's awesome.
Insomniacs. It's now
So I found this at a flea
intermission
market
time.
for real, and I
Mr.
thought this would be
Lobo's
fun to
favorite part
write
of the
this,
show.
make this our
Why not stretch your
Necronomicon. So we
legs a
wrapped
bit
it in
while
black
you feast
plastic
your
with a bunch of
eyeballs
cables
on
on
these
it.
coming
And then we had the tape explaining John about it.
That's awesome.
But it was originally going to be Bob Burns as the voice on the tape.
Oh.
And Bob got particularly ill and was unable to do the voice. And Rich Koz, who was Svengoolie, stepped up and did the voice for Dr. Rummage Goodwill, who is our version of Dr. Noby from The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
The voice that you'll hear on the tape in The Evil Dead. And Rich did, I felt, a pitch perfect impression of the tape, the guy on the tape recorder in The Evil Dead.
That's cool.
Very cool.
So another horror host in there with us. You know, another paranoid investigator horror host.
Will be avenged.
Dixie was in her gorilla or her Roman outfit, and we were at a show with Bob Burns, and he just fell in love with Dixie's gorilla stuff, and put on the Roman helmet.
Oh, cool!
And said, "This is nicer than the real one."
Wow.
It was awesome. And he was kind of giving her a little gorilla business. Like, it was cool seeing him talk to her and, you know, try to pass on, even in that little bit of time, trying to pass on a little bit of that gorilla man business. You know?
Man.
So we wanted to honor him with this special, which is why it's Kogarella. Kogar was Bob Burns' gorilla, and Kogarella is our gorilla to honor Bob Burns. But yeah, he was going to be in this, but he wasn't well enough to do the voice on the tape.
That's amazing. And sad, yeah. I want ice cream.
Will the evening movie showings ever return, or will they return this year at MonsterFest? That's the question.
Honey, probably not. But in October, the Naro is showing classic horror movies all October.
Yep.
So there will be one at the Naro that night.
Ooh.
Will I host it? Maybe, maybe not. It depends on how long we take at dinner after MonsterFest.
How much Mexican food we eat.
That's right.
Yeah. But I'll probably host the rest of them all month long at the Naro.
At the Naro.
Dale loves Kogarella. Yeah, I do too. Kogarella is one of my favorite characters on the show. And it's interesting how that character's evolved. Like, we've had so many characters that have just kind of, we keep having them come back on different episodes, and we see those characters. These characters have arcs. They kind of evolve. Like, Kogarella now has like a blonde wig and a dress, where in the beginning, Kogarella was more like a mascot.
Yeah.
Ook ook. And Mr. Lobo does all the ook ook for Kogarella. I wanted Dixie to do them, but Dixie likes to play mute characters, so
I understand that.
So you understand. Romana, I do Romana's voice, and I do the ook ooks for Kogarella. But I don't want it to just be me all over everything. I do like having other people be on the show and do stuff. As far as voice work, but I also do enjoy doing voice work. So it's fun to do other voices. But my voices are, I feel like everyone can always tell when it's Mr. Lobo.
Yeah, Rob is all our front man. I'm the Dixie in our team.
Behind the scenes.
Yes.
It's
always behind the
indispensable.
It's honestly more important.
Yeah.
It's more important. It's always hard because I feel like, you know, there's always this, like, there's the behind the scenes. It's really like, it's like the front makes the behind, the front man makes the band look good. The band makes the front man look good.
Yeah.
It's you can't really have one without the other.
Children have such
It really is an illusion that it's,
refrigerator can be,
you know, all
a jail in the Old West.
all up front. You know.
Yeah.
It's really everyone all together which creates that illusion of the rock star.
Yes.
You're exactly right, Tony.
What did Tony say?
We need the Phantom of the Paradise showing at the Naro.
Oh,
well, Tony, email the Naro
Yeah, seriously.
with that suggestion repeatedly once a month until October.
It's I who renounce you.
And tell all your friends to do it too, Tony.
Satan, I place a curse
This is a great movie, too.
Oh, yeah.
Black Sunday. Whenever I do a movie like this, it's always like, starts Wednesday. You know, like, oh, it totally ruins it. Any movie that has the day title on it, you like have it start on the wrong day. You know? Friday the 13th starts Wednesday, but passenger discounts. Oh.
But both must know the suspense, the shock of meeting the
I don't know if anyone. I always make that joke. Whenever there's a date in the title, I always make that joke, but I don't know if people get it, because that's what happens for real all the time.
Look into my eyes. Embrace me.
Friday the 13th, this Saturday.
Yeah.
Is it Friday or Saturday? Which is it?
Yeah. But yeah, this was the, I don't know if you could see this, but the Booklet of the Dead and the Young Magician's Box of Tricks, which is what, Necro Bambino Biondo Agogo, I think is what he said, which roughly translated is the Young Magician's Box of Tricks.
As seen in this episode.
And again, this is another thing that we found that tickled us, that we incorporated into the script. The same with, I mean, the tape recorders and everything else. It's just like, okay, these are these elements, and again, there's all these nostalgia connected. You know, even this, like the nostalgia connected to it. You know, you know, we try to find things like that for the show, because I think a lot of times people will go, "Oh, my cousin had that," or "Oh, my mom had that." Oh, I remember that, or I've heard about that. So I like things like that.
Oh yeah.
Happy Halloween. I'm not sure what we saw before the intermission. I mean, but I know it was definitely not a real.
The second Independence Day movie was released in June.
That could be insane, right? I mean, that's a logical explanation. These old houses have bad electrical fields,
Perfect example.
swamp gas, whatever it is. We're going to get to the bottom of it. Professor, over. Professor, over.
This is Professor Under.
What's this? Oh, lantern is far more dramatic than candelabra. Goodbye, Vincent Price. Hello, Peter Cushing.
We actually had all the items in a different order, but for whatever, I think at the top of the stairs, it was something we couldn't make it work, so we reversed the things. So I think I originally ended with the candelabra, but we switched it to where I ended with the lantern.
Professor, come in.
And the painting is in every room, by the way, if you look closely.
Great Caesar's ghost! No more fake scares. This is one of my old fake Ghostbuster colleagues, Togarella. She was our old mascot. She built a lot of our gadgets. She drove the car, the Skepto one, back on the old show.
Skepto one.
And she brought Marriott Hartley's camera. Don't shake it like a Polaroid picture. You're really not supposed to do that. I hope you brought Price with you.
We just had that conversation.
Yeah.
Vincent
All ties in.
Price
It does.
Tag. He was the roguish daredevil that built all the traps that caught the fake ghosts. He'd always tie the imposter up with duct tape and beat him with a car antenna, and then at the last moment at the end of the show, he'd rip off the rubber mask and he'd say, "Hey, dude." Mother Superior, for the love of Benji, no more fake scares. If Mr. Lobo's going to be scared, it better be something that's actually scary.
Yeah, well, guess what? There is some scary shit going down in this place, man. You got real spooks in this joint. Yeah, no more fake Ghostbuster stuff, FYI. The real deal now, yeah.
And this is Jerry Moore, who is Carlos Borloff, another horror host.
No rich antique dealer running
The idea with his character is that he was supposed to be a modern ghost hunter, so he'd be swearing and, you know, he'd be sort of boorish and swearing, and, you know, so I was kind of playing off of all the ghost hunters and all those A&E shows, you know.
Yeah.
It's happening right now.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean?
I just noticed Miss
not a
Mittens.
fake Ghostbuster?
Nah, 25 years
Oh,
ago.
you mean here?
In this very house, in this very spot,
There she
I
is.
saw that made me lose my faith in normality. I couldn't even make any nonsense out of it.
Okay, wait, hold on a second. Now, say that isn't so, Tagman. Come on.
For the Love of Benji is a movie. Yes, that's a movie title. Yes. I also say Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence as a curse, which is also a movie title.
We've started business. We are now official paranoid.
I have this card still. This, yeah.
You too. Let me look at this.
I saw the book for the Love of Benji today.
You saw the book for it?
Mm-hmm.
Phyllis saw the book for the Love of Benji today at one of the places we stopped.
Ghost hunters.
Oh, weird.
Very strange.
Obsessive nerds.
Yeah. It's a real deal.
Wow, that's pretty compelling.
Here you go. Right here as well.
What's this?
The picture. Right here. There she is. Right there. Coverella, snap this shot. Looks like you got Lady Chestburster photobombing your ass.
Mr. Lobo doesn't know what to believe anymore. Maybe we should roll a cartoon or something while we try to sort this all out. Not exactly sure what to make of all this.
Well, I'll tell you what, believe it. I got more stuff for you to see in here, man. Come here and check this out.
I guess I'm going with him. Enjoy the cartoon.
Just tossed to a cartoon in the middle of a ghost investigation. Again, that house was abandoned. There was no power.
Oh wow!
We had to bring a generator to shoot the episode, and we had a camera there. Dale, who shot the episode, had a low light camera, and so most of the light we were the light source for most of what you saw there. And it was really scary. There were a lot of things that we couldn't explain that happened in that place when we were there. John never wanted to go back to that house.
Well, of course not.
There
He
was
doesn't want to stay at your house.
No. There were parts of the floor which wasn't safe to walk on. There were several rooms we weren't allowed in because the floor would collapse.
Wow.
I think we were hearing mice and things moving in there because you did hear things moving, and it was disconcerting when we were in the house. And we had found cut-out obituaries on the floor and really weird things that we never really could figure out. But one of the weirdest thing that was saddest and kind of, I think, added to the house being a not nice place to be is that the old woman who lived in that house had dementia or something of that sort, maybe Alzheimer's or dementia, but she would run away. She would just wander off from her home. And she didn't have any family, so the neighbors got together and decided they would just lock her in at night. Right? They would just lock her in her house and then occasionally check on her and go feed her or whatever. And so she was locked in her bedroom. And you could see the claw marks on the door and the wall from this old woman who was locked up in her own house. So it was very, like I said, it was not a lot of good feels in that place.
Wow.
But the house was condemned. It was falling apart. A location scout said, "Hey, you can film in here, but it's, you can only be in these parts of it." And then Zombie TV had decorated the house in the parts that we were allowed to be in, and we filmed the episode. And from my understanding, it was torn down very soon after we filmed what we filmed in there. So,
or because
that was in Winchester, Virginia.
No.
And I think because it was in Winchester, Virginia, that's why when I wrote it, I had all these weird Winchester Mystery House. I was doing a play on words with Winchester, Virginia versus the Winchester House in California. Yeah.
Was there a cathedral?
Winchester Cathedral. Yeah.
One of the greatest songs ever.
Yes, a lot of people know that Lady Winchester, after she built the house, she built the cathedral.
And then she wrote that song.
Yes, right. And then she opened a Winchell's Donuts.
All true.
A lot of people don't know this.
Because it's not true.
That's right. This Popeye version of Gaslight is surprising. Oh man.
Oh,
What's going on?
Oh, Tony, somebody asked who we are, I guess.
Oh, yeah. This is Rob and Phyllis Floyd. They of course, are the organizers of MonsterFest at the Chesapeake Central Library, October 7th of this year in Virginia. They also run the Rocky Horror Cast Creatures of the Naro at the Naro Theater in Norfolk.
Tony's on it.
Is Tony on it?
Yep.
See, you have such a good group of
San
people.
Jose, California, for the Winchester House, which I've been to a couple of times. The actual Winchester House.
Have you? I've never been there.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't get the feeling that ghosts were making her do that. I think that she was rich and bored, and she read a lot of Aleister Crowley or whatever, and just decided I want to do some weird shit in my house. Stuff. I mean, I feel like no one ever counts on art. No one ever counts on eccentricity or someone just doing something for their own whimsy. And I feel like she was probably had a creative side to her, or probably had a side to her that was just needed an outlet. And just made her house weird because she could, because she was a rich old lady.
Yeah. So I don't know enough about the history of Winchester House. I know the idea.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure how did we get the idea that it was ghosts that made her do it? Did someone say that?
Yeah, that was the story when you did the tour. It was always that she had this enormous guilt because the Winchester rifle had killed so many people. That she had this enormous guilt, and that she consulted I sort of paraphrase this a little bit, my ridiculous origins.
Yeah.
But she consulted a medium or something, did some weird table tapping nonsense, and someone told her that the ghosts of all the people that the gun had killed, the Winchester rifle had killed, were haunting her, and they would take her, and to confuse them, she would have to keep building her house and making her house. Are we getting a version of this?
Each room was for a soul taken by a Winchester firearm.
Okay.
That's interesting.
I mean, there would have to be a jillion rooms for that.
Well, so weren't there just staircases that went to nowhere?
There were staircases that went to nowhere.
That was part of the confuse them
thing. And that was the thing I always heard, is that you were trying to confuse the ghosts or confound the ghosts.
Interesting.
But my real thing of what I think is that she was an eccentric. I think she was, this was a weird old goth chick who just wanted to have some fun.
That's pretty cool, though. Kind of like it.
She's in that one. And there she is again.
Some of the things had 13, like 13 lights and 13 doors and 13 everything. They did a lot of that kind of stuff.
Who are these clowns? What about this one? Okay.
Rose Red. I never watched that yet.
Okay, they did a lot of these double exposure shots. It was considered
all we did.
Even tubular. You're getting soft tag. We got to go talk to the professor and find out what's going
on.
Wait.
Hold on. Later. Right now, I want you to listen to this recording I made of the ghost.
Another smaller reel-to-reel tape player.
She's saying, listen, I'm alive.
Get a life.
Hey, no, you get a life. No.
That's what she said. I was there. I heard her. Okay. Who's got her golden arm?
Now, I say that line, okay, who's got her golden arm? No one knew what that was a reference to. Do you know what that's a reference to?
I don't.
You don't either?
Yeah, it's an urban legend thing.
It's an urban legend thing. How many people know the story about Elvira's golden arm? No one heard that campfire tale? I mean, there's different ways of telling it. The ghost's name isn't always the same. But basically, it's like they take a golden arm out of the person's casket, because the person dies, and they take the person had a golden arm, and they actually take the arm, and then it's the campfire buildup of they hear something in the middle of the night. Who's got my golden arm? I'm at the far end of the woods. And it's like, who's at my golden arm? I'm coming into your backyard.
Yeah.
You know, who's got my golden arm? I'm at your back door. Who's got my golden arm? I'm in your kitchen. And then you just keep building closer and closer. Who's at I'm at your bedroom door. Who's got my golden arm? You got it, right? So that's what you do. That's how you tell the story. I'm doing it quickly, obviously, to make the point. But I made that joke of, okay, who's got her golden arm? And literally nobody knew it. And I'm like, why didn't anybody say that you didn't get this? I would have written a different joke if this is a thing that nobody knows. But it was really interesting how much on faith everyone that was there. It was just like, I wrote this thing and nobody challenged anything on it. But I
heard it. It must be funny.
But it's like, I wouldn't have made that the payoff of the whole scene if nobody knows what that is.
Oh, House that Drip Blood. There you go.
Maybe we needed to have an example of that earlier. Like if I could have, found a commercial or something that had that in it. I know the one from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. What do they do in that?
When I heard it, it wasn't an arm. Our Scoutmaster left abruptly.
Something is disturbed.
Yeah, it's not always an arm. It's always something different. It could be,
Yeah.
So, but that was one thing. Another thing is with the ghosts there, when they're looking through the photo album, we literally took one whole afternoon and shot 1 million photos with the ghost. So we had a green screen and we just did all these different things like, out to dinner together or playing games together, or, and we just did all these photos with the ghost. So Mr. Lobo is being shown all these pictures that somehow the ghost is in also. And there's one picture of us as Dick Count Gordeval, Carlos Borloff, and Mr. Lobo. The three of us together are in one of those pictures too. Oh, we are going in and out of focus, Aaron. I don't know why that's happening.
You believe me now?
We're about to go into another dimension.
Thanks, Aaron.
You have to believe me now. I did it for you, Nikki. Look what I did.
You ever see this movie?
Ruby? Mm-hmm. No, Stuart Whitman, okay.
I love this trailer.
Roger Davis.
Roger. We had him at the Nostalgia Fest. Yeah, I had lunch and dinner with him quite a few times. Hell of a nice guy.
Afraid of now.
My friend Scott had this on film, and we would show it at parties and stuff with all of our trailers and things.
Janet Baldwin as Ruby's daughter.
Kind of in the wake of Carrie and The Exorcist.
Oh, yeah.
Ruby will take you further into the world of the supernatural than any film has ever dared.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for staying with us. We have gotten ourselves in a paranormal pickle we have yet to solve. Mr. Lobo has seen something.
Who was the redhead? Piper Laurie.
Not explain.
Ruby.
Apparently, never could. You see, we were in this house, I remember now, 25 years ago. All of us. Professor X, Exorcist, Vinnie Price Tag, Cogarella.
Oh, cool. See that?
Yeah. Yeah, please come join us.
Yes, absolutely.
Saturday, October 7th, 9 to 5-ish. And it's free.
Tore the group apart.
Oh, spirit of Lady Sarah Chestburster, why are you trying to kill us? Why are you scaring the out of us? How do we get out of here? What am I going to get for my birthday? What are the winning lotto numbers? Do you like gladiator movies? Are you into fitness? Cogarella, are you moving this? Are you sure? No, we're going to have to start over.
Professor, this is Mr. Lobo. The ghost is clear. Do you copy? Over.
The ghost is clear. That's clever. See what you did there.
I'm glad you're alive, but you forgot to say over.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing that. Okay, we don't have to. Are you still down in the basement? Over? I mean, not over?
Of course I'm still in the basement. Apparently, the stairs only go down, they don't go up. I need some help down here.
All right, we'll come and get you soon. Unfortunately, your pals Kogarella and Price Tag have gone completely ghostal. They currently think that Lady Chestburster's a real ghost and are using the Ouija board to try to contact her. Oh no. Looks like they're getting into trouble.
Wanting to do that joke forever.
That's awesome.
They're playing the Ouija board. Uh-oh, looks like they're getting into trouble, and then they're like the pop-o-matic dice.
Sad day for science, but fortunately.
Yeah, Dr. Sarcophagi kills. He sure does.
Yes, he does.
You mean the one with the gumballs? And
When he shows up.
driver that jumps into the bathtub?
When he shows up.
Big net that traps the fake ghost?
That's right, the old Rubomatic 66.
Oh, I love that one.
I think we should spring the trap and see who this ghost really is.
No, no, no.
I love that we have a whole Rube Goldberg machine trap that is all off-screen. Nothing, you don't get to see how cool it is. We just talk about how cool it is, and they never show it.
Phenomenology.
Automatic Ouija board.
Too, Father X. You were supposed to be the one who lost your faith. This is really depressing. Doesn't anybody not believe in anything anymore? You want me to talk to the ghost? You want me to talk to her? Forget about Parker Brothers family game night. Mr. Lobo knows how to dial this chick's number. You did it yourself in the basement, and it played back in the headphones the second time she appeared. What were those passages again? Yabba dabba doo? No, that's not it.
Dude, don't say it.
Come on. Concentrate. Say your right words, Mr. Lobo.
Labyrinth.
How about we all instead just play a game of Yahtzee?
Abra. Cadabra. Alakazam.
If you don't stop bringing this evil, I'm gonna smash your fucking head in with this fucking bottle of fucking ketchup.
Why does the man have a bottle of ketchup?
What's in the bottle of ketchup?
Ketchup.
The right
Oh,
ketchup?
the right ketchup. Oh, now I get it. It's refilled with a cheaper brand of ketchup. So okay, there's a lot of references there. The say your right words, Mr. Lobo. That is Labyrinth that I'm referencing there.
I remember that.
And then I think, I don't know if we've referenced Little Mermaid yet, but I definitely, not Little Mermaid, Last Unicorn is referenced. And then when I say the bottle of ketchup thing is actually my favorite episode of the 80s Twilight Zone called Nightcrawlers, where the guy is telekinetic and he's a Vietnam vet, and whenever he goes to sleep, he brings a piece of the war back home with him.
Oh.
And he's at this diner at the middle of the night and he hasn't slept. And they think he's the reason this hotel or whatever got shot up the street.
Uh-huh.
And at a certain point, he's knocked unconscious.
Has a chance to meet him.
And then, like, Viet Cong start coming out of the rice paddies that materialize around the restaurant. The whole restaurant gets shot up, and it's really crazy.
Wow.
I remember that Twilight Zone episode, and I thought it would be funny if it just out of the blue, as a non sequitur, that Borloff threatens to bash my head in with a bottle of ketchup because he thinks I'm being too freaky by summoning the ghost.
Oh.
But it doesn't matter that people don't know that episode. I wasn't thinking, oh, people are going to know this is a one episode. It wasn't that. I wanted it to be something off the wall, but to me, I'm calling back to, in my mind, I'm calling back to that Twilight Zone episode from the 80s.
But John's line, why does that man have a bottle? I was thinking that too.
Right, of course. And that's the payoff.
Yeah.
The payoff for this is John.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, why does he have a bottle? Why does he have a bottle of ketchup?
Yeah, and somebody, yes, that is Dr. Sarcophagi.
Yes, John Dimes, better known as Dr. Sarcophagi, but an artist in his own right,
Yes.
John Dimes. At this time, he was not doing Dr. Sarcophagi, which he is back doing Dr. Sarcophagi. So it was kind of fun to have him play a different character for us.
A shocking
What was the good question?
suspense.
I felt Mr. Lobo I feel I saw Mr. Lobo interview her once. Who did I interview?
Who's playing Lady Chestburster? No.
Oh, who is playing Lady Chestburster? Okay, yes. Andrea Marie. She's a model and an actress, and she had been on Monster Madhouse a couple of times. I named a couple characters that she played. One of them was Ultra Ma'am, where she was a superhero.
To Miss Harriet.
And I always liked her, and Dixie and I had painted the ghost, Lady Chestburster. Now, usually you get the actor first,
Yeah.
and then you do the painting. But we painted the ghost first. And Dixie and I were like, well, now we have to find somebody who looks like this ghost. Well, who were you thinking of when you were painting? And and it was weird because we were both kind of thinking of her a little bit. So we reached out to her. And we somehow found a blue dress. That was the other thing. We didn't have the dress. We didn't have the wig. We painted the ghost and the gun. We didn't have the gun. We didn't have the wig. We didn't have the dress. So we had to build the gun. Find a dress that resembled the dress in the painting. Find a wig that resembled the wig in the painting. Find an actress that could pass as the ghost in the painting.
You made your life much more difficult.
We made ourselves very hard. But we weren't sure if you would see the ghost originally. We weren't sure what we would be able to do. So, we just kind of did everything backwards. But the gun was a last-minute addition where we didn't know the ghost would have the gun. And then I thought, God, a ghost with a gun is funny.
Time to operate some highly sensitive ghost-busting equipment.
You can't stop a ghost with that.
Oh, somebody's asking about can't buy this DVD.
Tried something don't recognize. Why not PayPal or at least credit cards? I mean, I feel like you can do PayPal and credit cards with Square. You can't? I think you can use anything on Square.
I can't buy this on DVD. The only payment methods are Google Pay and something with a logo I don't recognize.
Is that through your website?
Where are you trying to buy it?
Where are you trying to buy it? Are you trying to buy it on Square?
There goes the domino rally.
Oh, there goes the seesaw that tips the gumball machine. That's not Lady Chestburster. That's somebody who
Just
Lady Amalthea caught.
things coming off the trap.
She was able to make herself float.
The skateboard was how she made herself float. Doesn't make any sense.
Last unicorn reference?
How does a grown-ass man know so much about the last unicorn?
Really good animation for its time. You know what? We're going to talk about this later. For now, let's see who Lady Chestburster really is.
So that's off your website, apparently.
All right.
You're busted.
How? Why?
I don't understand.
The Last Unicorn really was a rather good movie.
Professor? How did you get up here?
Sorry, Mr. Lobo, for deceiving you about a lot of things. I really can walk. All handicapped people really can.
Disabled.
Whatever. I know you have a lot of questions. We enlisted the services of your co-host and potted plant, Miss Mittens, to get through to you. We were concerned about you, especially with it being Halloween and all.
Wait, are you trying to say that you staged an intervention because I'm not sure I believe in ghosts?
We just love you, man. Group hug.
You keep Halloween in your way. Please, let me keep it in mind. How dare you Make me try and believe in real ghosts, and by using a fake ghost? Miss Mittens, I can't believe you went along with this. All of you should be ashamed of yourselves. You're giving pseudoscience a bad name. Take all of this crap back to the Spirit Halloween store, would you please? Would you now, please?
A bad costume doesn't explain everything that happened here tonight.
Yes, it does.
Biff K. Powell loves this format with the green screen.
Oh, thank you.
Feels like a cool telethon.
Now get out!
Please give for the children.
Mr. Lobo is very ashamed. In all of you. How am I supposed to explain this mess to the sheriff?
Anyway, so we'll come back. I think we're going to come back to this. So now that we're back in the trailers again, the store. If you're having trouble, if you want to order something and you're having a problem, please reach out to us at osi74shop@gmail.com. We'll tally it up for you. If you want to PayPal us or send us a check or whatever you want to do, we'll work something out. But as far as I know, on Square, unless they change how they work, you should be able to run any credit card or anything through Square.
Well, right. But I mean, if they don't have, oh, you mean Square Pay, you can run it right through there just like you were in person, kind of.
Well, the Square website should work just exactly like the Square.
Okay.
You know.
I have never sent anyone to that before.
But maybe they've made some changes, so I can't, unfortunately, I can't speak to it right now. But if there is something you're trying to get from the shop and you're not able to get it, just reach out to us in an email, either at osi74shop@gmail.com or osi74info@gmail.com and say, hey, I'm trying to buy this thing. We are going to bend over backwards to make sure you buy that thing. So,
by email or by walkie-talkie.
Yes, however you want to get to us, okay? But does anyone else have problems buying things off the shop? Because this could be a problem for us, honestly. You bought a mug with half a goat. Okay, all right, well, that's good. Not from us, though. Some weird guy who wanted a half a goat gave you a mug.
On the barter system?
Square, you can pay with the Square Pay, GPay, or credit card. Okay, thank you, Miss Melody. So any credit card should work on Square.
I didn't realize I could
good.
scroll down. Okay, find the credit card interface.
Yay.
Barbara Steele.
Thank you. We, like I said, we want you to have our stuff. So please, if you don't be shy if you're trying to buy something and we either sold out or if the payment method doesn't work, because that's trouble for us if we can't process those things for you.
Victim of the sorcerer.
All right, we did it! Yay! So Mr. Lobo is very upset here. A lot of people like angry Mr. Lobo. A lot of people say my favorite Mr. Lobo is at the end of his rope, Mr. Lobo. And Mr. Lobo is very frustrated here because his old fake Ghostbuster friends are trying to make him believe in real ghosts by using a fake ghost. But there's another twist coming, of course.
What a twist!
Yes, indeed. This was actually an idea for a story I wanted to do for a long time, where you had a bunch of different kinds of ghost hunters in the same, trying to investigate the same house.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them would be sort of like the Hanna-Barbera kind of ghost hunters, and some of them would be like a modern modern reality show ghost hunter, and some of them would be like the Ghostbusters. And I just thought that would be really funny to just have a bunch of different kinds of ghost hunters all trying to solve the thing. And in that original idea for the story, they all just ended up being ghosts. So no, they were all ghosts. So that was the original idea, which became this. And when we were approached by Pine Brothers, which was the sponsor, they said, "Hey, we want to sponsor your Halloween special. What do you want to do?" I thought, oh, that might be fun to actually try and do this story and see what kind of horror host characters we could create, or ghost hunter characters we could create from available horror hosts. And that kind of was the germ of this project. And then there's such a grand tradition in American film of idiots in haunted houses.
Yeah.
Like that goes as far back as film. And if you think about what's the one with Mickey Mouse? It's is it Ghost Chasers? What's
I think so. Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. Right?
Mickey, Donald, and Goofy as the Ghost Chasers. Felix as the Ghost Exterminator with the vacuum cleaner on his back. Bob Hope as the Ghost Breaker. Jerry Lewis is Scared Stiff. The Dead End Kids, Spooks Run Wild, and all that stuff. Who Killed Doc Robin with the Little Rascals. And I just think that it's even before the Ghostbusters. We had, of course, the 70s kids show, the Filmation,
Saturday morning show.
The Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And then we had, of course, the Columbia Pictures Ghostbusters.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, of course. Even the Hardy Boys and some of that.
Right.
And I just felt like I just wanted to play in that realm.
Chestburster Mystery House. And although I
Lonesome Ghosts, thank you.
and
That was what I couldn't think of.
catch a fake ghost, this is probably the worst Halloween of Mr. Lobo's life. I hope you had a good time, though. Thank you for watching Cinema Insomnia, even though this whole ghost thing went bust.
Mr. Lobo, what did you learn about the house? Is it really haunted?
I'm sorry, Sheriff. We were unable to conduct a proper investigation because the other ghost hunters were so unprofessional. I can't believe how to explain how these so-called scientists conducted themselves.
Whoa, wait a minute, what are you talking about? There were no other Ghostbusters.
You saw no one?
Nope. Your friends never showed.
Well, then that means...
Hey, you ought to be moseying along too. There's nothing more to be seen here. Oh, and happy Halloween!
See, and in my head canon, not only are all the ghost hunters ghosts, but he's a ghost also.
Yeah.
Everyone was a ghost. We're not even sure if Mr. Lobo's alive. Everybody was a ghost.
Hello there. I'm TV's Mr. Lobo. In tonight's story, Professor X Exorcist is in a wheelchair. He gets up out of the wheelchair and says that all disabled people can actually walk. This is simply not true. But some can walk. Don't yell at a disabled person in a parking lot just because you saw them get out of their chair to drive. Don't say things like, "You're too healthy looking to be in a wheelchair." Or, "Come on, you could walk if you really tried." And always, ask first before bringing them to a faith healer. Not everyone believes that disease is punishment for our sins. You don't know the full extent of their disability or illness, and frankly, it would be a lot of trouble just to get out of standing in line at amusement parks. You can read more about disabled people in books at your local public library. Thank you.
Books.
There it is.
Ah.
I mean, everyone's dead in Cinema Insomnia's universe. How many times? Mr. Lobos died on the show, like, what, 25 times? Like, I'm trying to think how many times Miss Mittens and I have died. It might be a tie. How many times Miss Mittens has died? How many times Mr. Lobo has died? That's right. Also, Jesus Christ, Vampires and Lesbians. You can read about that in books, too. That is actually a little bit of a spoof of the show Voyagers. You remember that?
Yeah.
I forgot who the little kid was.
Mio Pelus.
Oh, and then the actor shot himself with a blank?
John Eric Huxham.
Wow, you know a lot about that show. But the kid had like a striped shirt, and they would travel through time with a thing called the Omni, right? And at the end of it, they would always try to have like a moral, or they had a little PSA at the end, and they would always say you could learn more about whatever the topic of the episode was in books. And so I thought that would be a funny thing for Mr. Lobo to do in his PSAs, is to try to do that. Now, what is happening now? Is this another episode? Good God, I hope not.
Under my power.
Ringing endorsement of my own show. The more you know, yes. The more you know, the more you grow, and the more you know, the more you grow, the more you know that growing is half the battle. That's what it is. That's the thing that I say in the PSA in Super Turtle. You know, I always love doing the fake PSAs and the fake commercials and the whole thing. You know, I think TV has all these kind of funny conventions to it. I guess it doesn't really have that as much anymore.
Yeah.
But it's really funny, all those things that we watched and the kind of pattern that those things had, and so we try to kind of echo that a little bit. Loboception, yes. The other half of the battle, yes, is red and blue lasers. Yes, that is the other half of the battle. So that was it. It's Rob McParty. Yes. If that's Rob McCarthy, like I said, again, helped with a lot of the October's Disability Awareness Month, by the way. Rob helped with a lot of the humor that we created for Professor Exorcist, because I wanted to be on the good side of disabled humor. And I wanted it to be based in something real.
Yeah.
And so Rob was one of the funniest guys I know, and I knew he would bring some perspective to those jokes that I wouldn't be able to come up with from an outsider's point of view. So I feel like that you know, I would hope that disabled people watching the show and watching Professor Exorcist would, one, think it's a cool character, but two, go, wow, that's a joke for me. Yeah. Wow, that hits home. Wow, that's something that I didn't know. That they would. I wouldn't think they would know about that. You know. So I'm glad that, like I said, we involve Rob in the writing of that. Rob writes for a lot of the episodes and submits a lot of jokes for that, but it was actually pretty great. Rob McCarthy, not you, Rob.
Oh, no.
But you're welcome to submit jokes.
I thought it was.
You know, I think that you know, like I said, I felt like we got to do some not obvious jokes with that character, and some actually funny jokes with that character, because the joke isn't that he's disabled. That's not a joke, you know. I love it's like it's just like, you know, I forgot, it was like some, like with Chris Farley, where they were writing jokes for him, and it's like, and what's the punchline? Fat people? That's not a joke. That's not a joke. You know, it's not saying anything. You know, you're just pointing fingers and making derisive observations. That's not a joke. So we wanted to have real jokes, so we did. And there we go. And again, we had a real haunted house. That was another thing too, is I thought filming in the house we would get things out of that experience that would make it different. Yeah. It was off-putting. I think actually some of the acting is a little uneven because there were moments there where we weren't really quite sure what was going on or how much power we had, or so we were all kind of off balance filming in the Chestburster house, and it was also kind of neat to experiment with kind of directing more, because usually it's just me sitting in my chair by myself, and this was the one where I had to work with other people. And the way I thought I could do it effectively is I worked with everybody in a small group. I did all the stuff with Dick. It was just me and Dick. So those characters were never in the same room together.
Yeah.
So I did all the stuff with just me and Dick Dysel, and so I could focus and we could work through that material together.
Yeah.
And then I did all the stuff with John. So it was just John and I. John and Borloff were never in the same, never on set at the same time. And then when I did the stuff with Borloff, it was just him and I and Cogorella, and we did all that stuff together. And then it was all cut together, as one thing. But I knew that if it was everybody there all at once, I wouldn't be able to give one-on-one attention to the different actors and help them. Both ways, I guess, to focus on, help them focus on their performance, and to be able to work those scenes out with everybody.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to do more stuff like that. I'm thinking like some of the episodes we've shot this past year have been more cinematic, like the Cyberpunk special.
Oh yeah.
So it might be interesting to see where we're going to be next year, you know, what kinds of things we'll be able to do, And you've worked on some movies and things, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Did that internet, 3 seasons of that show called The House Between.
Yeah.
It was a few years ago now, but
yeah,
fun stuff. Though.
And that's all on YouTube, or
I don't know
no?
if it's available right now.
I think some of it is on
The House
YouTube.
Between is something you worked on?
Yeah, I think when it originally was airing, it was on what's it called? No, not Venmo. That's the
Venmo. It was on
Venmo.
Venmo.
Yeah. Okay. Was that it? Vimeo,
No.
Venmo.
Oh,
Because there's
Vimeo.
Venmo. That was it.
Yeah.
Venmo was the cash thing, but Vimeo.
Yeah,
Yes, it was on
Vimeo.
Vimeo.
Okay.
There,
Okay.
yes.
A lot of filmmakers use Vimeo. We used to until they kicked us off there. And and then the radio play thing that you guys are working on too, right?
Well, we're not working on it.
Oh, you're not working.
But John Dimes is.
Yeah, Dimes
John
does the
is.
voice on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Vimeo's been burning a lot of people now because like Jessica was using it. And suddenly they're like, we're raising you from $200 a year to $9,000.
Fantasmo After Dark Facebook group. Thank you.
Otherwise, we're deleting all of your stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We're holding your stuff hostage unless you pay us $9,000.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. So they're burning.
So we got out just in time.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, I guess. I mean, we had 1,400 pieces of content on Vimeo across 10 years.
Wow.
We had 2 infractions that we were waiting to get cleared up copyright-wise. 2 infractions over 10 years.
Yeah.
We don't know what the third one was because we couldn't even log into our account.
You were just gone.
We're just gone.
Wow.
We're just done. And I think that, it was very heartbreaking. It was very similar to what happened to YouTube. And what was interesting is that, that happened to us with YouTube where we lost the whole channel and everything on it. And we didn't put as much into YouTube anymore. We brought everything over to Vimeo thinking that, okay, these guys have a better attitude towards this sort of thing. And I feel like it's flip-flop where YouTube is a lot more forgiving than Vimeo was. And a lot of these things, YouTube will just say, hey, you can't monetize this, or hey, you can't upload this, versus just delete your whole channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Or hey, if you edit this, we'll allow it. Or hey, we silenced this part of the thing. What's funny is that one of the infractions on Vimeo, we had a trailer. We have a couple of trailers where you can hear Dr. Frankenstein say, "It's alive!" Right? You know that, right? Okay. Now you would think Universal would have a problem with that, right? It was the musician Jay-Z. Jay-Z has that soundbite in his song. It's alive. And I know.
So
he stole it from
right. But Jay-Z, because we had movie trailers, and movie trailers are admissible, because we had movie trailers in our stuff that had that soundbite in it, that was one of our strikes.
That was 2 of our strikes.
Well, they only counted it as 1 though. But yeah, it was 2 strikes. But they consolidated it because they were from the same source. So yeah,
that makes no sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense. And it's too bad because it's like we're not getting rich off of this stuff. It's interesting. It's like the older I get, I realize it's like what we're doing is artistic endeavor. This is a cultural endeavor, and and there's this sickening greed that just permeates everything and just makes it very hard for independent producers to comment, criticize, educate, satirize, parody. The thing is that we're all bombarded with images and sound 24 hours a day. It's part of our culture. If we try to reflect any of that back or communicate in that language that we all know, somehow somebody's got to be paid, right? For, no matter what the context.
Yeah.
So it's very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. But, it's interesting because now I feel like our YouTube channel, which is fairly new, is kind of building up. We have 2,000 subscribers again.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
cool.
And they've offered us partner on YouTube, which I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I haven't done the homework on it. But it was funny with that amount of hoops.
Fanger, you've got some art for me. That's nice. You're gonna mail that off. I appreciate that.
Well, like with the amount of hoops you had to jump through in other places, do we partner? It's funny that YouTube just gave it to us.
Yeah, we were trying to get a partner here on Twitch, and not to criticize Twitch on Twitch.
Never.
Wouldn't want to do that.
No.
But this other platform called Itch, they had said, hey, you met all the requirements of partner. Congratulations. But we're not ready to offer you partner yet. Just keep going. Okay.
Well, yeah.
So
let me dangle this carrot.
Yeah. Let me move that goalpost over here now. And it's sort of but what's weird is there's nothing to work on. It's like you're growing great. You've got a great channel. You've met all the requirements of partner.
But no.
So, the thing is that I think any artist right now is realizing that the world hates creatives. And it is a challenge to exist in that. We're all kind of trained to avoid things that are challenging, avoid things that are complicated. Everything has to be cut and dry and simple. And, things aren't cut and dry and simple. And there are so many perspectives and so many ideas and so many trains of thought. It's a shame that it's just such a battle to just put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Just put yourself and what you're doing out there is a battle.
Yeah.
And we're very fortunate that we have a lovely group of people who indulge us and let us attempt to entertain them. But it is something. It is something. I'm a few centuries late with my realization. Thank you, Dale. I guess I was more hopeful. I like I said, I don't even pretend that what we're doing is commercial anymore. I'm pretty much wholly accepting that this is an artistic endeavor. But art is important.
Yeah.
Very.
Culture is important. A little silliness on a Saturday night is damn important.
Yes, indeed.
Damn important. And I think that some things are too important to be a business.
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
Takes all the fun out of it when it becomes a business and all about.
But we got to keep it going somehow.
Yes.
And that's the balance. That's the balance. That's the tightrope act of any creative. Most people make money. Excuse me, the other way around. Most people work so that they can make money. I make money so that I can keep working.
Yeah.
So it is all backwards. It is all backwards. But it's all about the yucks. Yep, all about the good times.
All about the fun.
Man, did we have a lot of fun here tonight. I know. It's so great that you came to do this with
thanks
me.
for having us.
It's so sad when I'm in here by myself.
You're never by yourself. You have all these people with you.
No, I'm never by myself. I do.
We're in that chat quite a bit too.
I know.
Monday,
Yeah,
Wednesday.
you know what? We didn't talk about that, but yeah, Rob, Floyd, and Phyllis are often watching on Twitch.
Yeah,
indeed.
Which is lovely. It's nice. It's nice to know that I've got my good friends out there.
Yeah.
You know, keeping an eye on what you're doing, because that's another really hard thing too. Is like your friends are the last people who want to check out what you're doing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can't drive down here up here every weekend. So.
As much as we'd like to.
Yeah, as much as we'd like to. Yeah.
I remember when I was on TV, not to just go on this tirade, but when I was on TV in my hometown on an ABC affiliate on Saturday night, and none of my friends watched, and none of my family really watched. I mean, my mom would get up in the middle of the night and she'd turn the VCR recorder on and go back to bed.
Yeah.
But it was just like, God, if I had a friend who had a TV show, I'd watch it, I'd be telling everybody that, oh, my friend's on TV, and it is really interesting how.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
The same thing when I was playing in bands. It's like rarely would any of my friends be there when we played. There'd be a lot of strangers, and even Rocky.
Yeah.
We had a lot of our regulars, but our close friends don't show up to the shows, which they don't need to, but it's just
some do.
Some do, but but I know exactly what you mean,
And I think there's another part of that too. I think we are attracted to things that are inaccessible. There are things that have a little mystique to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I know you. Yeah, you're my friend. But this thing over here is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that there just is a little, it's not always jealousy. I think there's a little bit of like, I think that we just kind of, put our attention into things that are further, that aren't so in our circle. It's like reaching out.
Familiarity.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like I see you anytime, all day.
Yeah, right. I can. Yeah, we can talk whenever.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, Mr. Lobo was on TV? Oh, come on, Senator. I started at an ABC affiliate in Northern California. I was in syndication for years. I had 2006. I had a broadcast footprint of 45 million homes. What happened? No, I was on satellite TV, on UATV. A lot of people were watching us on the big backyard dish, and and a lot of cable systems. I distributed through AMG TV and BMI. We had low-powered TV stations all over the country, pulling us down off of the satellite. I was on a lot of, in San Francisco area, actually San Jose, Oakland, San Francisco, the Bay Area. I was on KTEH, which was a PBS station, and we were on at 1 a.m. on Saturday, and we were beating the X-Files reruns at 1 o'clock in the morning on the other station.
Nice.
With this nonsense. It was on regular TV, and it's interesting because like the world of broadcast started shrinking, and I started reaching towards streaming and other things, and it is really interesting that just lately a lot of broadcast stations have been just kind of reaching out saying, hey, we want to show Cinema Insomnia, hey, we want and that's why I've got these stations now that I was plugging at the beginning.
That's great.
Because it's like, if they're going to go out of their way, it used to be that we had to go and present to try to pitch it to stations, but if they're going to come to us and say, hey, we want your content on our channel, then of course we want to try to promote them as much as possible. You know?
Yep.
Yeah. 54 had Blake 7, Red Dwarf, Doctor Who. That's why I approached them with my show. In Sacramento, the PBS station. I was on the ABC station. When I was on hiatus, I begged off and I said, "Hey, can I pitch this to other TV stations?" So I went to the PBS station in Sacramento. And I gave them a tape of Cinema Insomnia, and everyone there at the station seemed to like it, but I couldn't get any traction on it. I started showing the show on public access locally, and there was we did this thing where they were going to start taking funding away from plastic. They were going to start taking funding away from public access, and so I did a thing where I testified. I went to the courthouse and I said why public access is a good thing and whatever. And the program director for the local PBS station was there, and I went to go talk to her, and I said, "Hey, you've had my show for a while over there. What can we do to get Cinema Insomnia on PBS?" And she said, I forgot what the first thing she said was, and she said, "Well, the humor on the show seems a little off the wall." And I said, "I got my humor from Monty Python from PBS,
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah, well, PBS viewers don't like science fiction." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I mean, I Doctor Who, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we don't want to scare the older viewers away." And I said, "Look, if I were able to bring you 200 new members to your PBS station, would that be worth it to you?" "Oh, we don't pick shows based on how many members we think it's going to bring us." And I said, "Really? It's like what could I do to convince you to just run? I mean, you just ran it for free." And she said, "Look, Mr. Lobo, I don't like you. I don't like your show, and I don't like the kind of people who watch your show."
Wow.
Wow.
When I was hired as the program director, I got rid of Monty Python and Doctor Who and all that kind of stuff. That's counter programming. We don't do counter programming. Go to the Bay Area.
Wow.
And so I did. I went to the San Francisco Bay Area where apparently anything goes. And I said, when I lived in San Francisco, I loved watching Blake 7. You did your Science Fiction Sunday with Scott Appel, who was a host who hosted Sunday Science Fiction. I said, I think that Cinema Insomnia would be a good fit for your station. We're in syndication on these smaller stations across the country. Would you take a look at the episode? And it was Creature, the episode we did with the movie Creature. And they're like, "We love this. Yeah, we'll put it on Saturday night." And so that was Ken Patterson over at KTEH. And we sent them 13 episodes. And then after the 13th episode, they did the pledge drive to raise money to do another season with us. And so that's how that got started. And again, that was a huge station. We had a lot of people watching. But it was interesting that that the resistance to it from the local PBS was like sinister. I heard a great story about that woman who was the programming director, though, is they finally fired her, and they literally had to have security drag her off.
Oh, wow!
Like it was like a dictator. Like they like she was literally screaming and kicking, and they literally had to drag her in her shit to her car.
Wow!
Can you imagine? What kind of person was this?
Couldn't it happen to a nicer?
Apparently not. Apparently not. Anyhow, gosh, we had a good time. Mr. Lobo, are you sure this wasn't a TV program based remake of Footloose? Oh my gosh. Wow. So if anybody does anyone's dad or uncle work at a public television station? We want Cinema Insomnia on there again, because like I said, I shied away from broadcast for a while, And you know, I feel like I don't know why I did that. Honestly, I just felt like it was I felt like it was shrinking and it was kind of a brick wall, and there were less and less opportunities. But it looks like I said, looks like that some stations want it now, and so we're just gonna give it to them. So so if you, like I said, if you know of a public television station or community TV station that might want Cinema Insomnia, you know, maybe we can get it down in Virginia.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Do we need to give away a Johnny X CD?
Let's
give away something tonight.
No, Paul, to stop giving away things.
We gave away free tickets.
You want
to
give
MonsterFest.
away? Okay, all right, okay.
Let's give away two.
Are you
Paul.
going to mail it, Paul? Paul Bonnell, are you going to mail this CD to someone? Because I can't be responsible for your nonsense, Paul. I mean, I love your movie and everything. But you're trying to give beads and blankets and smallpox to everyone in the chat?
Sure, why not?
Okay, you're going to mail it. Okay.
Look, I will match.
What?
I will match every CD that he gives away with a
Yes.
ticket to Monster.
Okay. Every CD is a free pass into MonsterFest. Okay.
For every CD he gives away.
Every CD he gives away.
We'll give away a free ticket to MonsterFest.
So is there a particular person in the chat do we want to give it to, or we want to have a criteria? Do we want to have like a trivia question or something?
Trivia question.
Trivia question?
What amusement park did we go to yesterday?
First person who says what amusement park we went to yesterday. First person who plugs it in there.
Great America.
Knobles?
Hey, Dale.
All right, Dale, you got it.
Nicobles.
Got it backwards. Nicobles. That's close enough. All right. So I guess.
Is that Dale or Dale the Robot?
It's Dale. It's Dale the Robot. Yeah, we got little Dale.
Dale the
here.
Robot gets a free pass?
Yep. Here we go.
Here we go.
Dale the Robot gets the free pass.
Good job, Dale. Shake his hand. Yes.
Oh, wow. Signed CD to Dale. Okay. All right. So I guess Dale, send a whisper to Johnny X Movie on Twitch if you can. I think you can do that. Send a whisper to Johnny X Movie. If not, just contact me with your address and I can send it along to Johnny X Movie.
And show up to MonsterFest and we'll have free passes for you at the door.
We'll have free passes for you at the door.
Two. Why not? Two. Why not?
Enos Pay says, hi, Melody Muse. I just got home. Did I miss the movie? And whom dis? Whom dis? That's very, classy. Whom dis? This is Rob and Phyllis Floyd, who are event organizers. They run the Rocky Horror Cast at the Naro Theater in Norfolk, and of course they run MonsterFest, one of the best conventions you'll ever want to go to in Chesapeake, Virginia. What?
Spin Master's on the ball.
Got all our links for everything.
Oh, Spin Master Scott is the coolest.
And all of that stuff.
And all that stuff.
Yeah.
MonsterFest fan. Oh yeah, that's right. It's the
our
Fantasmo podcast, which we didn't mention.
Did we not? We did.
Yeah, we mentioned
Phantasmo
After Dark.
Oh, just now. Yeah.
Yeah, Phantasmo After Dark is the podcast that Rob and Phyllis do, and then of course there's the Phantasmo Trailer Vault,
That's
which
currently
is
on YouTube, soon to be on OSI 74.
Yes, if we're lucky. For whom let the canines out? Woof, woof, woof. I love it. Love it. I don't even know you guys, but I love you. Oh, that is, look at that. Oh, boy. All right, I guess we got to do a hug. Okay, hold on. Come in here and give everybody a hug. Here's the hug. Okay, here's the hug. Look at my tie.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at that.
All right, there we go. All right, it's okay. It's all right. Let it all out. Let it all out. You're going to be all right. Is this too long? Is it too weird?
Yeah, it's getting creepy
You're
now.
making it creepy.
I'm patting. Is the
And
patting
on
making
three.
it better?
One, two, three.
Disengage, yeah. All right. Everyone got a hug.
Oh,
very good.
Everyone got a hug.
Grumpy Panda. Yes, we'd love to.
Thank you, Grumpy Panda.
Stop touching me, says Clam.
No, Now it's creepy. See?
Now it's creepy. Yes. Hugs, says Monty LaFawn.
Now it's creepy. Should have been here earlier.
Monty says hugs. The insomniacal grope.
Please give his Huey. Can I attend my?
Let me.
Will do.
All right, we'll let you know where to send the CD there, Paul Bonnell. Robin, Phyllis, Huey will not be able to attend MonsterFest, so please give his ticket to some kid at the con so they can get in free. Aw.
Done.
Huey is Dale's cat who produces.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Dale's cat actually is one of the associate producers on the Boy in the Plastic Bubble episode and many other Cinema Insomnia episodes. The only cat, actually, there's two cat associate producers. Both are Dale's familiars.
Awesome.
Oh, no, I have not heard that line at Rocky before.
Which line at Rocky?
Does anyone else see the stair-stepped stonework at the end of the peaked roof of the Castle Frankenfurter and yell, "That staircase needs rails"? That's a new one on me.
That staircase needs handrails.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Lobo, 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 Lobo. I hear that. Someone paid for that. Thank you.
Wow.
They just wanted me to hear it.
See, that's that is one of the coolest things about Rocky Horror, though. We've done it. I've done it since '89.
Yeah.
And still hear new lines yelled at.
Those callbacks always change. I feel like is there like a 5-year turnover? It seems
something like that. Yeah. You hear some of the standard ones all the time, but then you hear new ones out of the blue like that. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's incredible. We'll try to. They're going to try to incorporate that one now.
We will.
Your dad's cat, Fuzzy Bunny, produced one episode. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fan?
Oh, that was your dad's cat.
Oh, I always thought that was one I did.
I thought that was one of yours, Dale. I posted another Rocky comment above that one in the chat. Oh, okay. I don't know if we missed that one, maybe.
We'll have to go back
We
and
were
look at it.
carrying on like idiots here. We missed that. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's very hard, especially I think I'm dyslexic or something. It's like I feel like I miss a good 2/3 of the comments that go by.
Some good stuff up there.
Everyone is kind, intelligent, funny,
quick. Type a lot faster than I can.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at home watching. I think, somebody says something or you say something, and I think of something really funny.
Yeah.
But by the time I get it typed, it's like, oh, it's long gone.
I can't get my fingers working fast.
And then backspace.
It's nice that I can just talk because I can't get my fingers working fast enough. Sexy, yes. It's a very sexy group. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm missing a spell.
When I saw the Rocky Horror Picture Show for the first time, I was confused that there was no boxing.
Well, now, oddly enough, most people don't know this.
Uh-oh.
Rocky Horror is the only movie in the Rocky series that Stallone was not in.
A lot of people don't know.
A lot of people don't know that.
No, there's some trivia.
That's not true.
Oh boy, knowledgeable about fountain pens. Yes, that's right, Dale. It is interesting because my first serious girlfriend was Janet in the Rocky cast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as a emerging 15-year-old-ish fella, what a slap in the face. I mean, of so many things that you never thought about, never considered, never experienced, never knew. It was such a culture shock, I think, when you kind of, come into that world, especially if you're a somewhat sheltered kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't know what to make of all of it,
Mm-hmm.
I like the format tonight as opposed to Lobo in the little box on the side. It was easy to hear the host as well.
Oh, nice.
I like the format tonight too.
It was really cool. Yeah, I did too.
I like this format a lot. I would hopefully something we can do more often. I think it's definitely a thing to do when we have guests in the studio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This was so much easier than just a bunch of sad chairs piled up in front of my desk.
Your first girlfriend was Susan Sarandon.
That's right. It's funny because she called herself Lemming.
It's on the wiki.
Is it on the wiki?
Just read the wiki.
Oh, just read the wiki. Hilarious. But yeah, she called herself Lemming, and she was bisexual, she was a writer and was funny, and again, it just like I said, I feel like opened my ears and eyes to so many things.
Oh yeah.
And you know, and what was interesting about that, I think, is that, you know, when you're a weird kid, and then suddenly, just the idea. This is pre-internet, of course.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh wow, there's so many weird kids.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the only weird kid.
Oh yeah.
There were all these people.
Yeah.
Well, we've always said this separately and together,
Yeah.
you know, that Rocky, especially back in the day, if you didn't belong anywhere, you were the weird kid in school, you didn't belong anywhere else, you went there and you belonged.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of other weird kids into weird, different stuff than you, but you all fit together and accepted each other and just got along.
Yep.
And felt like that's your people.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and like I said, so many people who got married or who found each other. Or, yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, I know there's probably tons of documentaries and things about it. So, oh yes, and thanks. By the way, we're talking about this format real quick.
Yes.
Thank you, Johnny 3D, for setting this up.
Thank you.
Great
sir.
idea.
This was a great idea.
It looked great. It was fun.
Looks great. It's fun. Sounds great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Rocky Horror, I think, is interesting because it's like and speaking to modern sensibilities, it was never appropriate.
No.
It was always outrageous. It was always tongue in cheek.
Yes.
So I feel like it's like there was never a point where it was acceptable, nor should there ever be a point where it's acceptable.
No.
That's
Takes all
part
the
of
fun
what
out
makes
of
it fun.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the part that makes it fun, is that it's a guilty pleasure. Only I don't believe in guilty pleasures.
Just pleasures.
Just pleasure.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolute pleasure. That's right.
Yeah. So that's just it. And speaking of absolute pleasure, thank you all for joining us here tonight. Thank you, of course, our guests in the studio.
Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Actually, we could do our own hug
I
here.
know, we do a hug.
Oh, yes.
Group hug.
Absolutely. Creepy. Okay. I'm staying till it's creepy.
I can't see the screen. Is it? Okay.
Oh, all right. Oh, everyone's applauding now. Yes. Thanks for coming tonight. This is VR Commander.
Thank you.
Thank you all for
Thank you very
coming.
much.
We're all going
We've
to
had a
play with
blast.
the Weebles Haunted House now. But it was good seeing you. Good seeing you all. Again, thank you for supporting us. We wouldn't be able to play an experiment like this if you wouldn't let us, if you wouldn't support it by watching, supporting our projects.
Keep talking. Nothing to see here.
Are you going to make okay, nothing to see here. All right. Okay, well, I guess until next time, folks, champagne wishes and caviar dreams. All systems go.